Ladies and gentlemen, it's cool, it's calm, not very crisp out here at Homewood-Flossmoor High School here. Welcome to round 2 of the IHSA 8A state playoffs here. Dominic Leocani here from Neuqua Media. Unfortunately, Jack Ashby could not make it tonight for the broadcast. He's sick, and we want to wish him the best, who is probably listening at home right now, and we appreciate that. But I've got a very special guest with me here today who's going to help fill in. Mr. Pete Catazone. Pete, how you doing tonight?
Great, Tom. Thanks for having me. And, Jack, if you are listening, hope you're feeling better, buddy, and hopefully there's a game next week that you could come back and broadcast.
Absolutely. So, Pete, as we get into this matchup tonight, there's a lot of hype around both teams here, and especially coming and seeing Neuqua. How do you think they're going to have to adjust? Because they haven't played a team ranked like this or that can play at the high intensity like Homewood-Flossmoor can. Around 7 weeks. It's been 7 weeks since they've seen competition. They played East St. Louis. So how do you think that Neuqua Valley is going to have to adjust here?
Well, I'm sure the coaches are going to be a little bit nervous, Dom. Any coach gets worried sometimes when you don't play that competition and you're worried about maybe not being ready. But fortunately, it's the second round of the IHSA playoffs, and you got a lot of seniors on this team, and obviously they want to keep advancing. So I'm sure that'll get them ready to go. Lincoln Way East on the horizon, possibly. They won today, so the winner's going to take on Lincoln Way East. And I know Homewood-Flossmoor comes in with a 9-1 record, just like Neuqua. They're very well balanced. They do like to run the ball a lot, and I think it's going to be a matchup tonight of strength versus strength.
And absolutely, as the only loss from that Homewood-Flossmoor did receive was, in fact, from Lincoln Way East. That was their only conference loss and loss of the entire season. So with that, what's going to be the key for both teams, especially the Vikings, who are going to have to face a powerhouse like Neuqua Valley, who can, in fact, both of these teams obviously can compete with Lincoln Way East. We know that. There's no doubt about that. But what do you think the competition is going to be like tonight? What do you think is going to be the key to prove which strength on strength has the most strength?
Well, for tonight's game, obviously for Neuqua, they have that two-way combination on offense. Gronowski just having a great year, but he's able to both run and throw the ball well. I think he comes into the season, into this game tonight with 15 touchdowns, no interceptions on the season, which is amazing. And he also has 607 yards rushing with 11 touchdowns. So for Homewood-Flossmoor, they're going to have to figure out which reads. They're going to have to pick that up right away. Any play-action type of pass, they're going to have to trust their eyes, and Gronowski's going to have to keep moving the ball around. And on the other side of the ball for Neuqua, all season long, their front seven have done a great job stopping teams that like to run the ball, and that big up front seven does a great job. Worried about speed on the outside. They're going to need help. Safeties are going to have to give a lot of help with a couple of the receivers on the outside for Homewood-Flossmoor. I know their top guy this year is Donovan Doolittle, one of the receivers, and William Pauling. Pauling has 11 touchdown catches this year, and Doolittle is a receiver, but he also does a great job in the kick return game. This game might come down to special teams late, and if you look at the numbers, Homewood-Flossmoor has not attempted a field goal yet this season, and Neuqua has the co-special team player of the year of the DuPage Valley Conference in Palmer Domsky. So if it comes down to that, that could be a big check mark in Neuqua's favor.
Obviously, we know Palmer Domsky only being a sophomore here on this Neuqua Valley varsity football team. We saw last week his physical features as well. We saw him take a Conant running back, Matt Patello, actually, the quarterback as well on that Conant team. He made a tackle at the 40-yard line to save what could have possibly been Homewood-Flossmoor's first out of 2 touchdowns if that were to have occurred. So, again, talk a little bit more about Palmer Domsky. What kind of personality does he bring to this team, and what do you think his goals are going to be for tonight?
Well, he's a defensive back playing kicker. You know, we've said that for years. He loves to hit. He loves to be on the field. He wishes he could play both ways. I'm sure he's in coach's ear all year long asking to do that. But when you have a game like this, when you get deeper into the playoffs and the competition starts to narrow and there's very little room for error in the difference between a win and a loss, having a kid at the high school level that can make field goals from 30 to 40 yards plus is a huge advantage. A lot of high schools don't have that. My guess, and we haven't seen Homewood-Flossmoor yet, is they just have a kid who does kicking, does extra points, but they do not trust anybody to take a field goal late in the game. So controlling the ball today for Neuqua, controlling the line of scrimmage, getting to the quarterback, making him get the ball out quick is going to be a big thing for Neuqua to have success and hold this offense down. Homewood-Flossmoor can move the ball.
Now, HF, when we're talking about the run game, obviously that running back Sean Allen has been great for them all year. But do you think that what we've seen from this Wildcat defense so far this year is that the secondary hasn't quite lived up to the hype that it's been given? Mm-hmm. The secondary, obviously, with the pass coverage. So how do you think that HF tonight is going to try to exploit any of the Neuqua Wildcat defense?
Well, most coaches like to do what they do well first. I don't think they're going to go just to throwing the ball because they know that's our weakness. I think they're going to test our front seven first. When you mentioned Sean Allen, he has 1,622 yards rushing this year, 7.4 yards per carry. That's just amazing. So my guess is they're going to try to come out and establish him. They're not going to go away from that because that's not what they do well. Now, if we get further into the game and Neuqua stops that and forces him into long situations, you might see him throw the ball well and throw the ball more, But the one thing I will tell you, and it's this way in any big game, controlling first down is going to be huge for Neuqua. If they could get Homewood-Flossmoor 3 yards or less on first down, cause them to be in 2nd and 7 or more, now you put pressure on them to throw the ball, something they don't like to do as much, and then you have an advantage.
Now, coming from last week, obviously there were a lot of injuries for the Wildcats. We didn't see Sean Larkin play last week, resting that high ankle sprain. J.J. Robertson, unfortunately, came out midway through the second quarter with, I believe it was his left ankle. And then finally, Armani Moreno also came out, and we didn't see him during the second half either. So how do you think that those injuries are going to affect the Wildcats today? But they do have all 3 guys back. So do you think that those injuries are going to haunt them a little bit, or do you think they're going to come running right out of the gate?
Well, hopefully not. And a lot of times in a game like this, if you're well enough to dress, you're well enough to play, and the adrenaline of the game will get you through it. Moreno, 14 touchdowns rushing this season for Neuqua, 903 yards on the ground. He's their number 1 back. As we said earlier, Gronowski has 607 yards rushing as well and 11 touchdowns. They're going to establish the run. It's nice that Neuqua's deep, and it is nice last week. There's where that give and take comes from, not playing the competition and worrying about that. But the nice part about playing a team that you're a little bit better than last week when they beat Conant 44-6 was when Moreno did get hurt, it didn't cause a problem. He was able to come out early, get extra rest, get that ice, and we have enough depth at running back that it didn't cause an issue.
So now that we've been talking a little bit about this game, let's just go to some of the other matchups that we kind of know about and what's been going on throughout 8A. We do have some final scores, so if you just kind of want to, I'll say the score and you kind of analyze what's going on here.
Sure.
So Lincoln Way East did beat Niles Notre Dame today. That final was 23-13. Now, we obviously know that Lincoln Way East is number 1 on the power rankings, and the IHSA stream broadcast that they did for the pairing show definitely said that they were their favorites and they had them winning this whole thing. So when a team like Niles ND comes out and only loses to them by 10, what do you think that tells other teams?
Well, Niles Notre Dame had a good season. They were strong all year. They played good defense. They were able to keep, obviously, this game close and keep it low scoring. Lincoln Way East, though, is probably the class of 8A this year. They're really tough. They're balanced on both sides of the ball, and whoever gets them next week is going to have their hands full. But obviously, you can't look ahead. They've got to focus tonight in Neuqua on the job that needs to be done here. This is a very, very good opponent, and Homewood-Flossmoor is going to give them everything they can handle.
Yeah, obviously, Lincoln Way East having a lot of D1 commits, some of those schools including Alabama, Notre Dame, and Tennessee.
Yep.
So that's obviously prominent into how much talent, that just shows you how much talent they have. Now we're looking at this next matchup here. This one was a close one, Loyola and Glenbard West. It came down to 1 point at the end from a touchdown with around 3 minutes to go in the game per Edgy Tim. 28-27 our final score. What do you got on that?
Well, Loyola's Loyola. It doesn't matter where you rank them. Every year they're just there. They just know what they're doing. They're always in the mix. I think they're the 19 seed, if I remember correctly.
19 or 18.
Off the top of my head this year. And everybody knows when they saw that, that's kind of a snicker. Yeah, the record wasn't as good in the regular season, but when it comes time for November, they are always there, and no one wants to play them. They're kind of like the Washington Nationals of high school football. No one wanted to get them in the playoffs this year because of that pitching. No one wants Loyola because of their history. They just know how to win.
Exactly. We're going to look at some other matchups now that we don't have scores of yet.
And we'll try to get some later.
And we will get some later as well. We have Oswego and Bolingbrook going at it tonight. Obviously, Oswego, the higher seed here in this game between the two high schools. What do you see in that matchup?
Well, Bolingbrook has a ton of speed, and that's where you got to watch with a team like that. They could get you. That's a game where you look for things like kick returns, punt returns, trick plays, things like that to get that one-on-one out in space coverage. So if Oswego could keep that in check and handle those parts, they should beat them, but it's going to be tough. That's not an easy out.
And then we have Minooka and Edwardsville. Obviously, Minooka is the 1 seed here between the two, so we'll take Minooka in that matchup. South Elgin and Brother Rice.
as well as Huntley's playing Marist tonight, and Warren is playing Frem. So we got a couple more matchups. There were some 4 o'clock kicks and some 6 o'clock kicks just like ours here tonight, so we'll try to get you some scores as we go along.
Absolutely. Now, we want to talk and congratulate some former Wildcat alums as well as some Wildcats right now. Donnie Navarro, his brother Donovan Navarro, a senior right now here at Neuqua Valley, is a part of the secondary and the defense, and this is actually his first year of high school football. We do want to send a huge congratulations to Donnie Navarro, however, who's I believe he's a junior at Illinois, and he got a full scholarship the other day, and it was all over the web, Instagram. If you know what Barstool Chicago is, they were posting all about it. Just a huge congratulations. You had Lovey Smith do a whole presentation saying there's a lot of guys that work hard, and he said, how about Donnie Navarro? How about a full scholarship? All the guys went crazy. You love to see that.
That's a great thing. It happens at almost all the schools across the country where you get a kid that's a walk-on, and after a couple of years of working hard and just keeping their nose to the grindstone and working through it, a coach sees that every day, the effort and the character that they bring, and teams need guys like that. That's a glue guy that helps bring your team together. Illinois going into today's game 5-4, obviously coming off of that big upset of Wisconsin a couple weeks ago. So congratulations to him, and if you get a chance to go online and see it, it is really neat. So pull that up and take a look.
Absolutely. And we also want to give a huge shout out to Joey Moore, the manager here of the Neuqua Valley Varsity Wildcats. He had 3 decisions that he could have made. It would have been Tennessee, Alabama, or Mizzou for the manager spot at their football program, and he ended up choosing Alabama. He's committed there now. Talk about that a little bit, Pete. Isn't that an amazing thing?
Great story. He's just a really good kid. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a couple times, and he works just as hard as the players. I mean, he's here before they're here. He's here after they leave. He's in charge of everything, but more than that, he is just a ball of energy, man. He's up and down that sideline running, screaming. If he could put the uniform on and get out there, he would. He just loves the game and has a passion for it, and congratulations to him. He found something that he really enjoyed doing, and he made a move to a big school. Obviously, Alabama, #1 in the country almost every year. So that's a great thing for him, and congratulations goes out to Joey.
We're here at Viking Country here, Neuqua Media, Dominic Leacani, Pete Catazone, bringing live coverage of Neuqua Valley and Homewood-Flossmoor high schools going at it. Round 2 of the 8A IHSA playoffs here. This is going to be a good one, folks. Don't go anywhere. Let's just talk real quick before we go for the pregame here. Let's talk a little bit about each team's keys to the game. Obviously, we touched on that a little bit. But if you had to give 3 things to each team on what they need to do here to secure the W and move on to play Lincoln Way East, what do you think those things are?
For Neuqua, #1, establish the line of scrimmage. They have to control the line of scrimmage on both ends of the ball. If they have an advantage anywhere, I would think it would be up front. Running the ball on the offensive side, stopping the run on the defensive side. #2, get Gronowski out in space, moving quick. He makes really good decisions with the ball. Like we said earlier, 15 touchdown passes without an interception at this level is just unheard of. So trust him with the ball tonight. Be aggressive the entire time. And then just stay out of trouble with penalties. Win the special teams battle, stay out of trouble with penalties, stay ahead of the chains. For Homewood-Flossmoor, they are a run-first offense, so they're going to look to establish that on the ground and get their running back and their quarterback and going to test the outsides of the Neuqua defense and see if they could get some one-on-one coverage there and matchups. And for Homewood-Flossmoor, they're going to need to get the lead early. They're going to want to play from the front. When you're a run-first offense and you fall behind, it causes a lot of panic because you know you're not as – don't get me wrong, they could throw the ball, but it's not their #1 thing to do. You don't want to fall behind if you're Homewood-Flossmoor. They want to get the lead early, get the crowd into it, and see how they hold on from there.
That's going to do it here for the pregame show. Again, Dominic Leacani, Pete Catazone. Again, unfortunately, we are not able to have Jack Ashby here tonight. And again, we wish him all the best as he goes through the sickness right now. We're wishing you well, buddy. We're hoping you're listening and chilling out right now. But we're going to take a break here from the pregame. Up next is going to be the kickoff. We'll give you some more details of what's going on with the coin toss. We appreciate you being here, listening to some IHSA 8A state playoffs. It's round 2 here from Viking Country at Homewood-Flossmoor High School. The Wildcats take on the Vikings here at 6 o'clock. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back soon.
The possession, distribution, and consumption of alcoholic beverages and other illegal substances are prohibited at the site and on any affiliated property in the IHSA State Series contest. State Series hosts are required to make all State Series contest sites and any affiliated property, including parking lots, fan accommodation areas, and other school or event venue property, alcohol-free zones on the date or dates of any IHSA event being held at the site. Event staff will enforce this policy rigorously.
Shift going fast? Busy, or calm and cool?
Oh, it was busy.
Yeah.
Big fire in the hole.
Oh.
The roof cutting the hole in the old two-story house.
Yeah. Space here.
I couldn't even work it. We didn't stick around for that. South City go in, do our job, and we're out. That's how Lieutenant Bryant rolled. What you need? To the roof. To the roof. Let's go. To the open hole. Overhaul.
It's a great night for football, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's game here at the Homewood-Flossmoor Stadium. Let's start our pregame activities by cheering in the 2019 Homewood-Flossmoor Marching Viking Band with our special guests, the Viking Dance Team and the Viking Cheer Team. The Marching Vikings are under the direction of Mrs. Sarah Whitlock, assisted by Mrs. Kim Talongan, Director of Percussion, Mr. Tremaine Love. The Marching Vikings are led this year by drum majors Alice Contreras and Josh Jabalani and Field Commander J.R. Benson. Please get on your feet and show your Viking spirit by welcoming the 2019 Marching Viking Band, Viking Cheer Team, and Viking Dance Teams for the playing of our school song, Vikings Fight On. now, will you please remove your hats, stand and join us in the playing of the national anthem. Now, let's get ready to cheer on our very own Homewood-Flossmoor Viking football team, coaching staff, and fans.
Well, we're getting ready here. It's almost about time, folks. Coin toss has been dealt. We will let you know the results after we find out who's kicking the ball and who's receiving. Here from Viking Country at Homewood-Flossmoor High School, Dominic Liacani and Pete Catazone. It's going to be a good one tonight.
I hope so. It looks it's a good matchup. Like I said, strength against strength. See who could get out quick and get that early lead. Nice facility here too, with the sport turf field and a track around it. Decent crowd for a cold night. Friday night football always draws more people.
Exactly. No, I agree.
You guys are at school and everybody seems to want to come out and see the game, and they're a part of it all day long. And Saturdays just don't seem to do it as much. But
oh, absolutely. Plus, there's a hockey game tonight, so might be some more hockey fans. But
you never know.
No, we'll see.
LSU Alabama was a big draw too this afternoon. A lot of people probably watching that one. So.
Well, yeah. Now, when you're talking about turf fields here, Neuqua's been playing on a lot of them lately. Do you think that they like the turf better than their own home, or what do you think's going through their minds when they have to adjust?
I think nowadays you're playing on it so much more than they used to be years ago that they're probably used to it. It's like anything else. If you're playing a team that has speed, or if your team has speed, you love playing on the turf because it's a fast surface. If you're a little bit of a slower team, bigger, stronger, plodding team, then the grass usually helps out, especially this time of year. You get a little muddy, a little wet after some storms or some dew overnight, then you have a chance to slow the game down. But both teams should do well with the running aspect tonight.
Again, Dominic Liacani, Pete Catazone here, Neuqua Media. Again, we hope you enjoy what you're listening to. If you do enjoy, we've got a lot of great other content on this channel. A new Wildcat Weekly dropped yesterday with yours truly hosting, so got any pointers for me?
No, you're doing a great job, buddy. Just keep it up and come up with some great stories. You have a lot of things at that school, great opportunities at Neuqua, so that's awesome for you.
Absolutely. Just around 3 minutes to go here before we get things kicked off here. We have Homewood-Flossmoor's band here lining up, getting ready to introduce them.
I'll be interested to see what happened with the coin flip, because sometimes teams want to take the ball right away and establish that lead. Other times they like to defer and try to get maybe that last score of the first half and then back it up with that second half kickoff and try to get two possessions in a row. But sometimes in a game like this, you want to establish, you want to get the lead early. Like we mentioned during the pregame show for Homewood-Flossmoor, it is much more important for them, I think, to get out to a lead early because they are more of a run-oriented team, where Neuqua, if they have to play from behind, and hopefully they don't, but if they do, they're more equipped. I think they're just more used to throwing the ball at a better pace.
No, well said. I agree, partner. What do you think? Now, when we're looking at both sides of the ball here for Neuqua, what's one guy on each side of the ball that you think is going to step up tonight?
Well, Belskis on defense has to have a big game. He's a leading tackler on the season. He's going to control the middle and hopefully get in. And the front five, I should say, excuse me, are going to have to do a job, because with a team that likes to run, you do not want them to get into that second level. If the offensive linemen for Homewood-Flossmoor are getting 4, 5, 6 yards down the field and picking off our linebackers and our DBs, then it's going to be a long night. They have to establish the line of scrimmage on both sides. And from what we've seen here, Dom, in the warm-ups, it looks like Neuqua should have an advantage with the size on the line of scrimmage.
I agree. Neuqua's got some big boys on the line there. Nolan Baker, Keegan Murray, just to name a few of them. We see Homewood-Flossmoor being introduced here.
Little smoke machine.
That is really cool. I do like that a lot. I think I like our Wildcat head a little better, though. You know what I mean? More creativity. We did change our song that we come out to here as Zombie Nation is being played. It's the Bruins goal horn song, if anyone remembers or anyone's a hockey fan out there. Homewood-Flossmoor is getting ready. They're getting hyped. They run out from what is technically their band tunnel, and they're getting ready to play some football here. Neuqua Valley side shuffling and getting hyped, going to their sideline over there. Some supporters of the Gold Rush here are tonight. The theme was Groutfit. And, yeah.
We're ready to roll. It's about, we got less than 30 seconds now going to kickoff. We're looking forward to a good ball game.
No, well said. I couldn't agree with you anymore. Let's hope that this isn't a blowout for either side, and it should not be at all. This will be a fairly medium scoring game here. You got any score predictions before we go into this?
Wow. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a little bit higher than we think possibly. I'm gonna say Neuqua 31, Homewood-Flossmoor 27.
I'll agree with you with the low difference between them. I'm going to take Neuqua Valley, though. I'm going to go a little bit lower on the point total here. I'm going to go Neuqua Valley 27, Homewood-Flossmoor 24.
All right. Either way, as long as Neuqua's on top, I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with that as well.
I'm happy to be wrong with the score.
This has been a great run for both teams here as well. Homewood-Flossmoor getting ready to line up here. It looks like that they are going to do the kicking.
Yes.
Neuqua Valley is going to come in the backfield here. Garrett Starr, the junior, been one of Mark Gronowski's main guys all year. Patrick Hoffman, Gronowski's go-to guy this year. Talking with him, he said if anything goes wrong, it's all Patrick Hoffman.
Yeah, Patrick's been just a great player for this program, and he is the go-to guy. He loves to see it. So here we go.
We're getting ready here. Number 10 for the Vikings, Xavier McKinney, is going to do the kicking as we are ready to get set underway here. Round 2 of the IHSA 8A state playoffs gets it. Hoffman takes it at the 15-yard line and will go up the middle, and he'll get brought down at around the 35, so a decent gain there for Hoffman, and the Wildcat offense goes to work here.
Good job by Hoffman. I loved it when he took the kick return. He went straight up the field. Didn't try to make many moves. One cut, straight up, get as many yards as you can. They're going to spot it at the 34-yard line. That's where Neuqua will take over, 1st and 10.
11:54 remaining here in the first quarter. We just got underway. 1st and 10 from Neuqua's own 34 are the Wildcats. We'll see if they go out of that shotgun that they like, and in fact, Gronowski will not be under center. He'll have that that glove on his left hand. A wide receiver to either side of him. 2 men in the backfield, Pastori and Moreno. Moreno will shift over to his left. Gronowski out of the shotgun. Stair and Hoffman are the 2 wide receivers on either side. It's going to be a fake pass, play action. Gronowski's going to get sacked in the backfield. No, he's going to try to get the pass off, but it got over to the Homewood-Flossmoor sideline.
What an athletic play by Gronowski. He was being pulled down by 2 defensive players. He was going to take about a 14-yard loss on that sack, and he was able to have enough strength to get it out to the sideline and get it near enough a receiver not to get an intentional grounding.
So no gain there for the Wildcats. It'll be 2nd and 10, still on their own 34. The Viking defense showing no mercy so far to the line, and you said that was one of the keys, Pete. A weird formation here with 3 wide receivers to the left of Gronowski. Moreno still in the backfield to his right. Hoffman isolated on the right. Gronowski will look out to the left. He'll throw it up. He's got Grant Larkin for an easy first down and some more down the sideline at around the 50, and he gets pushed out between the 45 and the 40.
Great job. They ran a 3 wide receiver set, like you said, Dom, to the left. They ran a stack. They ran a slant to the outside. It almost looked like a partial pick play by one of the Neuqua wide receivers that got him open, but it wasn't called, so that was a great throw by Gronowski to hit him in stride.
11:34 remaining, still 0-0 our score. We're just underway here from Homewood-Flossmoor. Again, Dominic Leacani, Pete Cat is zone. 1st and 10 from now the Viking 44 are the Wildcats. Trying to penetrate the red zone. This time Gronowski goes under center, a wide receiver to either side of him. It's going to be a run up the middle for Moreno, as nothing's doing there too much for him. Homewood-Flossmoor will wrap him up, and around no gain will be made.
What we're seeing early so far from Homewood-Flossmoor is they're bringing everybody to the ball. There's gang tackling going on. When that play was stopped, there were 9 people into the middle of the pile there. Look for later on for the play action pass to work. Fake throw, fake run, and then look to throw over the top.
11 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Still 0-0 our score. 2nd and 10. No gain there from the Wildcats on the Viking 44. 2 wide receivers to either side of Gronowski. Out of the shotgun, he's got Moreno to his left now. Again, that glove on his left hand. Because of the brisk weather, it's going to be a fake handoff, and Gronowski's going to go down the sideline, and he'll get some room. He's being dragged, and finally he'll be taken down at around the 25-yard line. Gronowski got a huge gain there. It was a fake handoff to Moreno. Moreno faked it going to the right, and Gronowski took it. You got to love to see that isolation play there from Gronowski.
And it kind of goes back to what we just talked about the play before, the gang tackling. They're over-pursuing the ball. So that fake drew everybody up to the running back, Moreno. Gronowski saw it. He tucked it, pulled it, went around the left side, and had a huge gain on that play.
So Gronowski gets the easy first down there and a little more. In the red zone now, I believe, are the Wildcats.
They just gave Homewood-Flossmoor's sideline a warning for being too close to the field, so next one will be a 15-yard penalty.
That is a good point there. 1st and 10 from the Viking 24. The Wildcats, 10:20 remaining on the clock here. Gronowski has a wide receiver to either side of him with Moreno in the backfield, as well as Pastori to his left. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Moreno, who will keep chugging along, and he'll get around a 4-yard gain.
Nice run by Moreno. It looked like a little bit of a bobble on the exchange there. Gronowski had a hard time getting the ball to Moreno. It hit his pad on his right leg. He was able to control it while he got through the line, and he is a strong kid. He pulled about 3 defenders with him. As we said in the pregame, the defensive line for Homewood-Flossmoor is not very big up front. They have one defensive end that looks big, but other than that, Neuqua should hopefully dominate that line of scrimmage.
2nd and 4 here from the Viking 18 are the Wildcats. Gronowski out of the shotgun is going to run it to his right. He's trying to find some open space up the middle. And then he'll keep chugging along and get tackled there around the 15-yard line. Gronowski again taking the ball himself with that bootleg to the right.
Made a nice spin at the end there to get another 1.5 yards, almost 2 yards. It's going to be about 3rd and 1 now, Dom. They have to get to the 14-yard line, spotting the ball right at the 15.
Again, for those of you watching, 69 viewers here on the stream. We appreciate all of our fellow Wildcats and Vikings, for that matter, tuning in tonight for this Round 2 matchup for 8A. Around 9 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Still 0-0 our score.
Like to see Neuqua go with a little power football right here. Establish line of scrimmage, drive them back and get this first down.
Gronowski under center, Pastori, and Moreno in the backfield with him. A flag is thrown.
Delay a game, it looks like. Yep,
delay a game on the offense. So Gronowski and his crew aren't able to get the ball snapped in time, so they'll move them back. It'll
3rd and 6
be
now.
3rd and 6 now. Now 8:52. Another flag. Is this one on Ellinghaus?
No, it's on one of the, looks like it's on one of the players. Might be an unsportsmanlike conduct against Neuqua Valley for complaining. It's exactly what it was. Now that's a huge penalty on Neuqua. 15 yards.
And that's not good at all if you're the Wildcats. Ellinghaus, and it looks to be Gronowski, and is that Tereski with Bill Ellinghaus doing a lot of the talking as...
Yeah, it was unsportsmanlike conduct. It looked like they pointed at one of the players in the huddle, not at the sideline.
So it's 8:47 remaining here in the first quarter. 0-0. 2 big penalties will push the Wildcats back. 3rd and 21. And that's huge because the Wildcats now are going to have to throw the ball here. We will likely not see a run.
Look for something maybe underneath, Dom, to try to get half of this back and get Palmer Domsky and possibly in the field goal range.
Gronowski out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to either side of him. Gronowski looking to his right. He's going to throw it. He's got Stair open, and he'll get pushed out at the sideline at around the 25-yard line. So you're right. They did try to get half of it back. They'll get back to around where they were, but now it looks like Palmer Domsky will come out if that is the case, and yes, he will.
Okay. So I'm going to try it here. It's going to be a 25. It's going to be a 42-yard field goal attempt here.
We saw Palmer Domsky drilling them earlier in warm-ups. He looked fine. The boot looked great. Palmer Domsky trying to get Neuqua on the board to get at least 3 points here. Again, a really inopportune time for those 2 penalties.
Yeah, that was a big setback for Neuqua.
So with 8:42 now, Gronowski's going to do the holding on a 42-yard field goal. Here's the kick from Domsky. It's up and powered Missed right.
Yeah, he had definitely had enough leg. That would have been good from about 50 or 52. He just pushed it a little bit to the right. So Neuqua comes up empty on that first drive. They're going to have to hold now on defense.
So now Dominic Jones and Sean Allen are going to lead the Vikings out on the field for their offensive opportunity here. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Or excuse me, 20.
Yeah, in high school they moved the ball back to the 20 on that, so they're starting on their own 20.
Again, 91 of you watching right now. We appreciate it. Dominic Liacani, Pete Catazone here for Neuqua Media. Still 0-0 our score. Dominic Jones under center here, 2 wide receivers to his right. Run up the middle there for the Vikings, and he's going to get loose and go all the way to the end zone, it looks like. The 40, the 35, 30, 25, 20 to the 10. The first play of the game for the Vikings results in a touchdown. Great holes opening up there for the running back.
Yeah, that was a great job up front. We talked about controlling the line of scrimmage. Marcus Harper, offensive lineman, 6'4", 315 pounds, playing the left tackle, just kicked out one of the defensive linemen, hit a linebacker, took out 2 players, opened a huge hole, and he was able to scamper 80 yards in one play. So not a good start for Neuqua at all.
I agree. 8:25 remaining here. First quarter, 6-0 Vikings looking to add that PAT. The first play of the game the Vikings had on offense results in an easy run to the back of the end zone, and now the kick is up and good for the extra point. So 7-0 our score early in favor of the home team, Homewood-Flossmoor, here from Viking country. It's Dominic Liacani and Pete Catazone of Neuqua Media. So far, this game has not gone in favor of the Wildcats.
No, and we were in position. We moved the ball really well, had a 3rd and 1. Like we said, took the delay game penalty. 3rd and 6 is still manageable. But it looked like a couple of the players were complaining to the refs about this play clock not being reset properly. And right away, the middle judge just threw a flag, pointed at the Neuqua huddle, and called it unsportsmanlike conduct. And then it put you in a position of 3rd and 21, which not many plays you could draw up to do that.
And you can still see Ellinghaus on the sideline maybe talking to the official about it right now. Again, a lot of controversy so far going on early in this one. Well, we're not even 3 minutes in.
You know, we're up here. We don't know what was said or what was done, but you hate to see an official throw a flag that quick. He threw it very quickly, so maybe there was a magic word that was said that caused it, but if not, they're usually a little bit more lenient in a big game like this. Let a kid get a little steam off as long as it's not too disrespectful.
That's right on, partner. 8:25 remaining here in the first quarter. McKinney up to kick from their own 40-yard line for the Vikings. It's a fairly short one again, and this time it's going to be taken by Hoffman at the 25, and he'll try to find some space up the middle, not trying anything fancy, and he'll get his legs taken down at around the 35-yard line once again. So almost deja vu there from Hoffman's first return, and the Wildcats will work from their own 35.
Well, if you're Coach Ellinghaus right now, you just got to tell the guys to take a deep breath, calm down. We moved the ball really, really well that first drive. They did not stop us. We stopped ourselves. So that's the kind of the temperament and the mindset that you have to have. Come back out here, settle down, and try to answer this that touchdown from Homewood-Flossmoor.
So 8:18 remaining here in the first quarter. 7-0 is our score in favor of the Vikings. 1st and 10 from their own 35 are the Wildcats. Gronowski out of shotgun, 3 wide receivers to his left and 1 to his right. Moreno in the backfield with him to his right. Gronowski, quick screen pass out to Sean Larkin, who'll try to find some room down the sideline and get it a gain around 5 yards, taken down at the 40.
Great job by Larkin to catch that ball. It was a little bit down and out in front of him. He had to kind of turn his hands the opposite way and juggled it, but held on. And a nice pickup, gets 6 yards on first down.
So right at 8 minutes and counting down here in the first quarter, still 7-0 Vikings. 2nd and 4 for the Wildcats now from their own 41. Gronowski out of shotgun once again. Moreno to his right. Next to him, 2 wide receivers to his left. A fake run, and Gronowski's going to go up the middle and try to get yardage, and he will. He'll keep chugging along. He's got a lot of guys with him. He got great space up the middle, great blocking, and an easy first down. Mark Gronowski with that great run. That kid can throw and use his legs any way he wants to.
He's definitely a dual threat quarterback, and they did a great job of a kickout block. Both of the left side of the line actually pulled and led the way and kind of have a little misdirection. It looks like the misdirection may work tonight against Homewood-Flossmoor. Great job by Keegan Murray, the offensive lineman, coming around and just creating a huge hole for Gronowski.
7:30 remaining in the first quarter here. Still up by a touchdown are the Vikings. Under center now is Gronowski with 2 guys in the backfield. Be a run up the middle for Moreno, who won't get a lot of yards on that play. He'll get, I would say, only a gain of around 1 or 2. So it'll be second and around 9 or 8.
Yeah, it looks like Homewood-Flossmoor is really selling out right now. That looked like Donovan Doolittle, number 14, playing both ways. He came in off the corner and ran a corner blitz to stop that run. Once again, misdirection, play action pass should work against this team. I think Neuqua will have some opportunities to hit some big plays the way they're flowing to the football.
3 wide receivers now to the left of Gronowski. It's 2nd and 7 on the Viking 36. Gronowski out of shotgun. He's got Hoffman isolated to his left. He'll put Moreno in motion. It's going to be a fake screen pass. Gronowski going to try to find some room up the middle, and he'll be hit hard as he tries to get a gain up the middle, but not too much is doing there.
Well, they put Moreno in motion, and they actually ran him deeper in the backfield. It looked like it was going to be a swing pass. That could have been a lateral for a possible double pass, hoping to once again draw that Viking defense towards that fake. They're trying to use misdirection to get their eyes moving and their feet moving in the wrong direction and hit them from the different angles.
6:13 and counting down on the clock remaining in the first quarter. This one's going by fairly quickly here. 7-0 our score in favor of the Vikings. 3rd and 5 from the Viking 34, the Wildcats. Gronowski out of the shotgun. Again, that same 3 wide receiver setup we saw earlier with Hoffman again isolated to the left. Gronowski looking out to the right, scrambling a little bit, then fires, and he's got, is that Larkin?
It looked like it. Let's see.
It was Sean Larkin with a beautiful catch. Is that going to be a first down?
It looks like they're going to mark him far enough for the first down. Yes, it is.
And it is a great catch there. What agility by Mark Gronowski to roam around in that pocket. Around 3 or 4 guys from the Viking defense were all over him. He threaded the needle with his body and then threaded the needle with the ball as well.
Yeah, great job of Gronowski keeping the play alive, getting off the pressure, rolling to his right, hitting him in stride. A great catch.
So 5:45 remaining in the first quarter here. 1st and 10 on the Viking 32 are the Wildcats. Out of shotgun is Gronowski, a wide receiver to each side of him. It's going to be a run up the middle for Moreno, and he'll get, I would say, around a yard.
Yeah, Moreno right now, they're trying to work the middle so far. The middle runs, with the exception of the quarterback draw by Gronowski, haven't been as successful. They're flowing to the ball. The defense really seems to be keying on the running game. Let's see if Neuqua starts to open it up a little bit.
So 2nd and 9 here from the Viking 25 or the Wildcats. Gronowski out of shotgun is just going to run it off to the left, and he's got some room. Good blocks there. He'll get loose a little bit and finally get brought down at around the 15-yard line. He ran off to his left. Great blocking there from the Wildcats, as well as using Mark Gronowski being able to use his feet. Another first down, and the Wildcats again are in the same position that they were before.
That was the fake handoff to Moreno, and he actually led and threw a block for his quarterback. He did a great job there getting him sprung free to get that corner and get the first down.
So 5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Gronowski under center here. It'll be a run up the middle for Moreno, who will find some space and pass to the outside. Touchdown, Neuqua Valley! Armani Moreno found a hole to the left of him. And just like that, Neuqua Valley has a chance to tie this game now with Palmer Domsky coming out for the PAT.
That was a great job by the Neuqua front line, opening up a hole off the left tackle. It seems like when they're hitting the off-tackle play, Dom, or the wide play, they're getting some room. They haven't had as much luck up the middle, but a really impressive strike by Neuqua to answer back.
So quickly, the Wildcats will get right back into this game. Domsky for the extra point. He's been basically perfect this year. The kick is up and rifled through the uprights. We are tied here from Homewood-Flossmoor and Viking country. It's been a good one so far.
That drive right there, Dom, 7 plays, 65 yards. Took up about just over 2.5 minutes on the clock, and it's capped with a 16-yard run by Moreno.
So now the possession advantage still in favor of the Vikings here. We have not seen the Neuqua Valley defense work too much. In fact, that first play did not really impress us too much there at all.
Now, one play, they are fast. They have a lot of speed. If they hit the outside and hit the holes, they're going to have some success. Like we said in the pregame, we're going to keep sticking with it. The front 7 have to dominate today. They have to fill their gaps. Don't try to be a hero. Don't leave your spot to make a play. Stick where you're supposed to be. Trust your teammates in a game like this today.
So Domsky's going to do some kicking off for the first time in this game. We've seen number 10, Xavier McKinney, do a lot of it for the Vikings. I know the whistle is blown right after Domsky kicks off, and the refs are going to signal. Not sure what that was. And it's going to be offsides against the Wildcats. Those penalties haunting the Wildcats. And the game against Waubonsie around 5 or 6 weeks ago, 5 to be exact, they had over 206 penalty yards.
Yeah, it's hard to win any game like that. It's amazing that they came out on top. You can't keep shooting yourself in the foot, something like this. Sometimes it's just nerves, it's jitters. In a state playoff game, first quarter, it's early. Hopefully they'll settle down. Coach Ellinghaus will get them to take a deep breath and see if they can just kind of ease their way into the game.
The band rowdy here. Domsky doing the kicking once again, this time from the 35. He'll kick it deep enough as the HF man will pick it up at around the 15-yard line and try to get yardage and then get brought by a few Wildcats at around the 27-yard line.
Yeah, good kick from Domsky being pushed back. He was able to hang it up high enough to get the coverage down there. The return right up the middle. Now let's see if Neuqua's defense could kind of settle in and answer here. They have to make a stop, try to get the ball back, and play with the lead in this ball game.
4:44, 3 fours there on the clock here remaining in the first quarter. 7-7 our score. We are tied after 2 touchdowns from both teams. They were both running touchdowns. One was an 80-yard from the Vikings. The other one was a
16-yarder from Moreno.
16-yarder from Moreno, bouncing to the outside. 7-7 here from Viking country. First and 10 for the Vikings from their own 29-yard line. Jones.
It's interesting formation, Dom. 3 wide receivers. Let's see if they're trying to just spread them out to run the ball again.
Jones out of the shotgun. It is going to be a run up the middle, and big hit there from
excellent job of the defense.
Number 54, Kyle Cash. We were talking about him to you in the pregame. He can pack a heavy hit. Kyle Cash just got in there on number 5, Sean Allen, and blasted him.
Kyle Cash hit the hole quick. He diagnosed the play real quickly, and Nathan Williamson also coming in to help out. It's interesting that Homewood-Flossmoor spreads these wideouts way out to try to make more room up the middle. Neuqua's got to be paying attention to keeping their blocks.
Jones out of the shotgun, takes a snap, rolling out to his right. He's going to fire a long ball up for number 6. That's way up. That was Joey Matusik on the coverage, and number 6 is William Pauling, again, one of the leading receptionists for the Vikings. Now, Pauling had him beat.
Pauling had him beat by about 6 or 7 yards. An amazing throw by the quarterback. He was rolling opposite way of his throwing arm. He was rolling to his left, threw that ball on the run, and threw it about 45 to 50 yards in the air and just overshot him by about 5 or 6 yards.
So, excuse me, he was rolling to his left. I got to make sure my directions are correct next time. 4:04 remaining here in the first quarter. Now this game's starting to sluggishly move a little bit here. Still tied at 7 are the Wildcats and Vikings. It'll be 3rd and 11 here. Jones has a man in motion. He'll just pass it easy to the outside and get good yardage is the man, number 6, William Pauling. He'll be taken down at around the 40-yard line up the middle for
really close to a first down, Don. They gave him a really decent spot. It's going to be within about a half yard. Let's see what they say if it's 4th down or not.
One of the chainsmen is moving right now.
Oh, they are. They're giving him a first down.
They're going to give him a first down. We'll see what Ellinghaus has to say about that. He doesn't look to be complaining too much, nor does Coach Rodney Jones. So it'll be 1st and 10 now after the Viking first down. And that's what you were talking about earlier, the battle of the first downs, especially later in the drive at around 3rd down. Jones has a man in the back in motion. Under center is going to be a pitch. Trying to find Sean Alling to the outside, and he'll be tripped up by Nate Williamson, who was diving. Excuse me, that was number 6, William Pauling, in the backfield, getting tripped up by Nate Williamson.
Williamson came in quick, hit the hole, but he almost took the wrong angle, and he had to shoot back out to his right, was able to grab onto Pauling's shoes and pull him down just by the tip of the heel of his shoe, and that's a big stop on first down.
So with 3:17 remaining here and counting down as well in the first quarter, the Wildcats will not allow the Vikings to get a gain. It will be 2nd and 10, once again from their own 39. Two wide receivers to the right of Jones as he'll go from the shotgun. Now this man comes in motion, which is Pauling.
False start.
A false start on the offense. What looks to be like everyone's pointing every which way, and it will be a false start on the offense, which will move them back.
And now, once we talked about in the pregame show, you want to get a team that is not as comfortable passing into 2nd and 3rd and long situations. We're at 2nd and 15 now. This is a time where Neuqua's got to be really careful for a quick bubble screen or a toss of the halfback out of the backfield.
So 2:49 remaining now. Now it will be 2nd and 15 on their own 34. Go the Vikings. 2 wide receivers to Jones's left, to his right. It'll be a quick slant out to number 6, Pauling, who will try to be tripped up but won't be, and keep going down the sideline before he is pushed out at around the 40, so another easy first down.
That's the wide receiver screen we just talked about. They faked it to the right, came back to the left, quick wide receiver screen, had another wide receiver out in front of him along with a tight end throwing the block, and Homewood-Flossmoor has speed to burn on the outside. You can't get the ball in open space. Neuqua's got to make that initial tackle and wrap somebody up when they get a chance.
2:34 remaining here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 now for the Vikings, and the Wildcats territory now on their 41. Jones out of center here. 2 wide receivers to his right, a man in the backfield with him. Run up the middle here for Sean Allen, who will get wrapped up and brought down by number 2, Jack Belskis. So that's what you were talking about. The leading tackler on the Wildcats makes a play there.
Yeah, Belskis did a great job of wrapping up. Hit him right around the thigh pads, did not let go, and he squared up and got under control. Sometimes in a game like this, you're worried about the other team's speed. You're coming up at a very high speed yourself to try and catch him, and you don't break down and make the fundamental tackle. That time he did a great job of doing that.
Going down to around 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter, still tied 7-7. Touchdowns, running touchdowns for each team so far. Jones out of the shotgun, 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. There'll be another run up the middle for Sean Allen. He'll get another great run up the middle, which should be 3rd and right around that first down marker. It should be 3rd and 1 here. If not, this could be a very generous spotting.
Yep, they did. They gave him another first down.
They did give him another first down, or did they? They're still figuring it out right now. And Ellinghaus, of course, isn't happy about that.
Now they just moved the ball. The official actually just moved the ball to make it meet where the marker is. I've never seen that before.
That's crazy. And Carl Reyna is...
The officials are telling the chain crew to move the chains, and they weren't moving it because they even knew it was short. The official picked the ball up and moved it a half a yard to give him the first down.
So that's very controversial here. You got to think Neuqua's not happy about that one. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Jones out of the shotgun, 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. We've seen this formation with Sean Allen in the backfield once again. A quick screen pass out to Pauling, and he's got a man to beat, and he does, and he beats another man, which is Matusik. A big hurdle there from Pauling, who will get caught there and drop that around the 10-yard line. So a back-and-forth battle so far with the offense. Offense is going at it, but Pauling gets great yardage there. He beat what looked to be J.J. Robertson.
Well, you can see why Pauling was their number 1 receiver. He's got a ton of speed. He caught that ball in stride, made the first man miss, got to the corner, and actually hurdled one of the Neuqua defenders to get the last 5 or 6 yards.
So 1:20 remaining in the first quarter. We're tied here at 7 from Viking country. Again, Neuqua Media here bringing you the live audio broadcast of round 2. Between the Wildcats and Vikings. Jones out of the shotgun. 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 11. It'll be a handoff up the middle to Sean Allen, who'll try to get some room and be brought down for a gain of around 4.
We're going to have to start seeing the Neuqua safeties getting involved more down. They're going to have to come up closer to the line of scrimmage. Right now, you have to make Homewood-Flossmoor beat you in the air. The short, quick passes, nothing's been really down the field except the 1 attempt that was missed. They're getting the ball out quickly on the passes, but right now they're just beating us up front in the running plays.
2nd and 7 at the Wildcat 8 are the Vikings, with Allen in the backfield, Jones out of the shotgun. Pauling will be in motion behind him. It will be a run up the middle for Allen, who'll try to find some space and then get brought down at around the 7-yard line.
Going to be 3rd and short. Big stop here for Neuqua if they could try to hold them. The thing is, like we mentioned, they have not attempted a field goal all year, so I'm assuming they're going to go for this on 4th down no matter what. They may let this clock run out and talk about it and start this 3rd down play to begin the 2nd quarter.
And it looks like they will actually let the clock run down here. With 8 seconds remaining, the Wildcats and Vikings are going to switch sides here. So 2 touchdowns, both running for the Wildcats and Vikings. They'll split the first quarter. It's 7-7 our score here. From Viking country, Dominic Leacani, Pete Catazone, part of Neuqua Media. Again, if you enjoy what you're listening to right now, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell next to it. We've got some great content on this channel. We've got Wildcat Weeklies. We've got Valley Voices. We've even got Neuqua Connections coming later in the year. This is going to be a great year for Neuqua Media as well as Neuqua Sports.
And hopefully you'll get out to be able to do some basketball games as well in the wintertime.
That basketball team is starting to look more and more promising as we go along. A lot of new and exciting faces. A lot of juniors stepping up as well. A lot of seniors that graduated last year.
I was able to talk to Coach Sutton a couple weeks ago, and he was excited. Last year they had really no one with any varsity experience at all. So it was some growing pains, especially early in the season. But as the season went on, they started gelling and playing a lot better, and I think he's excited about what's in front of him this year. So this will be interesting, Dom. We got a 3rd down and short. Neuqua, once again, we're expecting HF to go for it. In this situation because they haven't attempted a field goal all year, unless it's, it is kind of an extra point distance. You may see them try it, but right now the Neuqua front line has got to do a better job of getting some penetration and getting into the backfield. Homewood-Flossmoor is just going to the original hole, the original read, and the opening is there. You got to make them switch that up and have your linebackers get involved.
Do you think that's a message that Coach Jones is sending right now? What else do you think he's telling his players, just to stay tight?
Well, yeah, I think right now they don't have to change anything. I think Neuqua, what we want to do on the defensive end of the ball is they're going to have to get their safeties, like we said, closer to the line of scrimmage to help out, to wrap up. You got to trust your corners. That's hard. They have to wrap up on the quick, short passes, and that's been one of the problems so far here in the first quarter.
We have hit 100 viewers, so if you are watching/listening, we appreciate all the support here on Neuqua Media. Whether you're a Wildcat or a Viking, we appreciate it. It'll be 3rd and very short here for the Vikings on the Wildcat 4. We're just getting underway here with 12 minutes remaining.
See if there was a possible false start, or did Neuqua draw him off? Looks like the side judge called it on Neuqua.
And they did.
Half the distance to the goal, and that's going to be still just short of the 1st down, Dom. It's going to be about 3rd and a yard.
So not even a play here yet in the the 2nd quarter, and we already have a penalty. It's 3rd and very short now. 3rd and 1, ball on the Wildcat 2.
Quarterback draw.
It should be a quarterback draw, and it will be. It'll be a fake. Diving for the end zone is Jones. Did he get it? He did. Touchdown, Homewood-Flossmoor. Great call, Pete.
Well, they spread them out. Whenever you see 5 wideouts spread out like that, you're trying to make room up the middle. Neuqua had all of their linebackers and DBs outside of the middle of the field. That's just a quick one-step drop and go up the middle.
So another running touchdown there. Dominic Jones, the quarterback, will do it himself this time.
Well, let's see here. High snap.
High snap. Kick is up, but it is still good. So the Vikings will go up another 7 here. It's 14-7 our score. Just underway into the 2nd quarter. Neuqua's defense really needing a kickstart here to get a stop, but as well as the offense needing to respond as well.
Yeah, that was a 10-play, 71-yard drive, and it lasted 4 minutes and 49 seconds, capped off by a 2-yard run by Jones on the quarterback draw. Like we said, it's going to be probably a higher scoring game. Neuqua could move the ball, and I don't think that's going to be a problem tonight, but the defense has got to get shored up. Hopefully during this next drive they could get on the sideline and get together and make some adjustments. It's hard when you have the speed that Homewood-Flossmoor has. You have to make tackles out in space on these quick hitting passes, but you've got to play more up on the line of scrimmage. They've got to challenge the wide receivers, and they've got to get the safeties closer in.
We have not seen too many far kicks here from the kicker, who looks to be number 43, Ethan Lindquist. We haven't seen him kick the ball very far. Hoffman is usually returning these at around the 20-yard line, getting around another 15.
Yeah, Neuqua will take the ball at the 35 all day. That's great field position. I mean, we don't need anything special. I mean, it's awesome if you could break one, but you'll take that 35-yard line.
So Lindquist kind of faking there. Or the ref is, I guess no one's set and ready yet, but everyone on the field is. Hoffman and Stair are going to talk it over. They're actually going to have Stair move up quite a bit just in case that kick is shorter than usual, because Stair has
the band
had
was,
a few
I'm sorry, Dom,
returns.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. The band was still playing. That's what the delay was. The referee, once they're ready to play, the band's got to stop.
And that's what was happening with Domsky's kickoff as well. So Lindquist is going to kick it. It's kind of a squibber more of it. It'll bounce into the hands of Patrick Hoffman, who will take it around the 15 and go upfield. Nothing fancy too much. Dekes a few men, tries to get to the outside, and will finally get brought down what looks to be at around the 36. Excuse me, the 26.
Yeah, that was the first time tonight that Hoffman tried to make a couple different dekes and get to the outside. And if he would have probably just stayed that original course, he might have got 5 more yards. But still, decent field position. See what Neuqua could do here on this drive and try to answer.
11:45 remaining here in the first half. Again, Dominic Leocotti, PCAT is on. Neuqua Media bringing you the live audio broadcast of the Wildcats and Vikings going at it in round 2 of the IHSA 8A football state playoffs here. Vikings leading the Wildcats 14-7 right now. 1st and 10 go the Wildcats from their own 29. Gronowski out of the shotgun. Moreno moves up to his left. 2 wide receivers to the left of Gronowski. 1-man ISO, of course, that's Hoffman. Rolling out is Gronowski trying to find some space to the right.
Got a guy.
And he does. It's Hoffman. Flag is thrown. It's an incomplete pass, but we'll see if that was pass interference or not.
Yeah, once Gronowski broke containment and rolled out to the right, the receiver hooked up. Hoffman saw it, and he just took off and went down the field. He had about a step and a half, and it looks like it should be a pass interference call against the defense.
It will be. It looks like they're moving up here. So a call goes Neuqua's way for one of the first times tonight.
Yeah, the penalties have hurt us early on. That's a 15-yard penalty in our favor.
So the chains will move up here. Now it'll be 1st and 10 once again for the Wildcats. From their own 44 are the Wildcats now. 11:36 remaining here in the second quarter. 14-7 still. Vikings lead this one. Gronowski out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to either side of him, with Moreno in the backfield as well. Gronowski takes out of the shotgun. It'll be a fake handoff to Moreno, and Gronowski's going to try to find some space up the field, and he'll get an easy first down and get brought down at around the 45-yard line in Viking territory.
Gronowski once again doing the run-pass option, a little RPO. He pulled it at the last second, saw the opening off the right tackle. Great job by the Neuqua offensive line creating some space for him. And Gronowski just knows how to find those little areas and get through the creases. That time, Nolan Lebrecht on the block, number 75, opened up a space for him.
11:20 remaining here in the first half. Still 14-7 our score. 1st and 10 from the Viking 45 are the Wildcats. Gronowski out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to his left. 1 ISO, of course, that's Hoffman to his right. Be a handoff up the middle to Moreno, who has just not been able to get too many yards today at all. It'll be 2nd and around 8.
Yeah, it seems like right now the first hole that the play is being called for, it hasn't been open as much. We've made more yardage on an actual cutback or the RPO where Gronowski's pulling the ball. That's a push from the offensive line. The one thing that has worked on are a couple of the offensive linemen pulling. So maybe misdirection, a little pulling guard, and see if they could get something going in the running game.
2nd and 8 on the Viking 43 are the Wildcats. 10:30 remaining here in the second quarter. Under the center now is Gronowski. Fake handoff, play action. He's got Nick Pistori wide open around the 20, and he gets pushed out of bounds. So good read there from the Wildcats. It's a great play action, and you were talking about that earlier, that misdirection. Gronowski uses it to his advantage. The Vikings swarming all around Armani Moreno gave Gronowski all the time in the world to throw it over to Pistori.
That's next level stuff right there. Gronowski with a beautiful fake was able to tuck the ball and hit him right in stride.
1st and 10 from the Viking 19, and now the Wildcats are in the red zone. Gronowski takes out of the shotgun. He'll just run it to the right and try to get yardage. He trucks a man and gets around 5 yards.
Yeah, Gronowski, that's just a called quarterback run. He just took the snap, went directly off the right tackle, and was able to pick up close to 5, like you said.
Exactly. 2nd and 5 here are the Wildcats. 10 minutes remaining here in the first half. 14-7 our score. It's been an exciting one so far. Of course, it is a playoff game here from Homewood-Flossmoor, Viking country. 2nd and 5 from...
Sean Larkin has a little bit of a size advantage on the right side, Dom. Look for a one-on-one coverage. He might take a shot in the end zone.
Out of the shotgun is Gronowski from the Viking 14. Be a handoff all out to the side for Moreno, who tries to truck a man, and he'll go a little further. Is this going to be a first down? We'll see what kind of decent
be about 3rd and 1
position they'll get in. It will be around 3rd and 1.
That was a nice run by Moreno once again. It seems to be working when they're going off tackle with a little bit of a pulling guard action. So far, the straight ahead blocking hasn't been as successful. 3rd and 1 here. Let's see if they go with that again or if they just go man on man and try to challenge that defensive line.
9:15 remaining. It'll be just a quarterback sneak, and he'll go up the middle, but a flag is thrown, which could have been offside. Moreno is saying, well, what is that for?
False start.
And it was actually a false start on the Wildcats, so that'll push them back, and that's, again, penalties proving to haunt the Wildcats.
That's the 2nd time that we've been inside the red zone and had a penalty on 3rd and short, now turning it into 3rd and 6.
9:04 remaining on the clock here in the 2nd quarter. 14-7 still our score. If you're just tuning in, Dominic Liacani, Pete Catazone for Neuqua Media, bringing you live audio coverage of round 2 of the IHSA 8A state playoffs. Wildcats and Vikings going at it right now. A tight one. It's a one-possession game. 8:45 and counting remaining. It'll be 3rd and 6 for the Wildcats on the Viking 15. Gronowski out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to either side of him. Gronowski, fake handoff, going to run to the outside. He's got a lot of room. Gronowski stumbling into the end zone. Touchdown, Neuqua Valley. Mark Gronowski. What a play.
What a run. He got hit initially at about the 7-yard line and broke 4 tackles, spun twice, and got into the end zone. That kid is a very determined runner when he gets going. Excellent, excellent run by Gronowski.
So the Wildcats here only down by 1. Domsky coming in for the extra point. Again, we saw him in warm-ups. He's been great, but let's just go back to that run again by Gronowski. The fake handoff to Moreno. Moreno, again, that distraction proved to be very beneficial for the Wildcats, and Gronowski just punched it in himself as the extra kick is good by Domsky. We are tied at 14.
High-scoring affair, Dom. Here we go. It's going to be a shootout. Yeah, great job, Gronowski. And if my numbers are correct, and I apologize, I might have been off a yard, but I think it was another 16-yard touchdown run. So that's our lucky number tonight. But Gronowski, like we said, got hit initially at the 7-yard line, and he just kept trucking. He's a big, strong kid, and he knows exactly when to make the little spin move to get that linebacker off of him where they can't wrap up. Great answer by Neuqua. We've said it, even with the penalties and the mistakes, they're moving the ball. It doesn't look like that's going to be an issue tonight. But they've got to get a defensive stop here, and if they could do that and get that lead, now you'll start seeing that momentum come.
8:30 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. We are all tied at 14. This has been a good one so far here from Homewood-Flossmoor. Don't go anywhere, folks. Dominic Liacani, Pete Catazone here with Neuqua Media with the live audio coverage of this one. Domsky once again doing his 2nd kickoff of the night. It'll be a sharp one over the head of number 14.
Yeah, that's a touchback.
And it is going to be a touchback. Donovan Doolittle. Everyone is fired up for Palmer Domsky right now. He's got a boot, and he's not afraid to hit either.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that last drive for Neuqua, 8 plays, and it went 71 yards, took 3 minutes and 14 seconds off the clock with that touchdown run by Gronowski to tie it. Now we have some decent. First time they've started deeper in their own end on the 20. Let's see what we can do here on defense.
Exactly. We want to see, again, you were talking about what the Vikings needed to do, coming up with a strong run game. They have shown that. They have had a little trickery for the Wildcats with a lot of fakes to the outside, and then Sean Allen, of course, taking it up the middle. Of course, him leading the team in rushing yards for the Vikings. Donovan Jones under center here. No wide receivers. It'll just be a run up the middle, again, for Sean Allen, who'll get around 5 yards.
Allen's a talented kid. Philip Smith, a running back, little 5'9" running back on the outside, was actually made the key block on that play. He took out one of the cornerbacks and created that seam.
And you were talking about how this team, HF's team, might be very small, but they are determined, they're passionate. They're just as passionate as the Wildcats, and they are fast. They are a quick team. It'll be 2nd and 4 from the 26, their own 26 now. are the Vikings. Another run up the middle here. This time I think it was Pauling.
They're going to give him the first down and spot it there.
So, yeah, they are going to give the Vikings a first down, so they'll go from their own 30 now. Only took them 2 plays to keep those chains moving.
And Neuqua on the defensive end right now is just, they're not wrapping up when they get that first initial chance. The running back seems to be squirting through. They've got to do a better job of that.
Jones under center here. Man in motion behind him. 1st and 10 from their own 30. Run up the middle for Allen. Allen gets hit hard by a few Wildcats, including Julius Earle and Trey Borski. But again, he'll get another rush of around 5 yards, and that's going to be the key here for the Vikings. If they can keep doing that, then they're in very good shape, keeping those chains moving and as well as running down the clock a little bit as well.
Yeah, Nathan Williamson on the tackle there. I think that's his 4th one that he's been either solo or a part of. Yeah, they're a run-first team. If we could get them behind and they make them force them to throw the football, we maybe could see something a little different.
Not too much of a passing coverage here for the Wildcats. Jones out of the shotgun. Once again, no wide receivers, a few men in the backfield. Allen once again up the middle. They'll be hit hard, but they are going to give him the first down once again. 10 yards up and down the field.
Yeah,
go the Vikings. The Neuqua Valley defense just not able to stop that run early enough to try and push them back.
Well, Allen came in averaging 7.4 yards per carry, and right now the last couple runs, five yards at a pop. And what's going to happen now, Dom, and Neuqua's got to be careful. We've mentioned that they've got to bring their safeties up, and they are. You got to be careful for a play-action pass for a deep shot eventually if the coach decides to take one here.
6:30 remaining, 1st and 10 from their own 40. Pauling in motion. That's going to be a flag. Everyone's pointing every which way, but it could be in a legal formation. Or no, it was a false start on the offense, so that's pretty huge here for the Wildcats now.
Looked like number 54 on the offensive line for Homewood-Flossmoor jumped early.
Yeah, that's Michael Ford. Just under 6:30 remaining here in the first half. 14-14. We're all tied up here from Viking country. 1st and 15 from their own 35 are the Vikings now. Jones will take it out of shotgun this time. 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. It'll be a quick screen pass to Pauling. This time men are all over him. He stiff arms a man and gets loose, and then finally Carl Reyna will push him out of bounds.
Good job by Rayner taking the angle there. We had a chance to get him in the backfield on the initial tackle, but once again, he squirted out, used a little bit of a stiff arm, and was able to free himself. Neuqua's got to come up under control when they get to the outside, force the guy to make his first move, and then square him up and bring him down. 2nd and 9
for the Vikings here, still in their own territory, on their own 41. Just under, or exactly under, with 5:55 on the clock, under 6 minutes for the second quarter here, still tied at 14. 2nd and 9 from their own 41 are the Vikings. A man in motion, a wide receiver isolated. In the backfield is Jones. Jones looking, and he's got nowhere to go. With
Nice
J.J.
job.
Robertson taking him out of bounds, and a lot of the fans here were complaining that number 9, Nate Williamson, had a little bit of an unnecessary roughness at the end there, so that was a little risky.
Yeah, it was a little closer. It was right at the sideline. But what happens is when you see so many people breaking tackles early in a game, as a defender, you don't want to take it for granted that he's coming down, so you kind of come in. It was really close to the sideline, but there was not a flag thrown, so it's going to be 3rd down and call it about 12.
So now the Vikings really needing their passing to come through here unless they can get Sean Allen.
I'd like to see Neuqua Dom go here with just like a 3-man rush and drop everybody back into coverage and work on wrapping up.
5:50 remaining. It's going to be a run up the middle here for Allen, who breaks a lot of tackles and will get loose. He's got a lot of blockers, and finally it's Belskis who will secure the tackle at around the 35. So, again, those holes opening up down the middle of the field for Allen, and he uses those legs to get himself and his team another first down.
He's a dynamic runner. What happened there was Neuqua showed a 3-man rush and at the last second brought a corner blitz from the right side. And once the corner came in and Allen saw it, he broke back to that left side where the corner came from, and it was wide open, and he got through the initial line of scrimmage.
5:30 remaining here in the second quarter. We are still tied at 14. 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 38 are the Vikings. Only one man, which is Pauling, isolated as a wide receiver. Be another run up the middle for Allen, and this time he's hit hard by Belskis and company.
A little extracurricular after the whistle there. Nothing called by the official.
Again, yeah, Nolan LeBreckin, number 23 and 24, which are Miles Watton and Phillip Smith for the Vikings, going at it a little bit, but nothing called.
No. And now Neuqua, once again, got him in a decent position here. 2nd down and 7. We call that kind of being a little bit behind the chains. I don't think Homewood-Flossmoor is going to panic, but you got a chance now to pin their ears back a little bit, see if they go with another running play.
4:44 remaining on the clock here, tied at 14.
That's going to be too many men on the field unless Neuqua got a timeout. They did. They were able to get the timeout. Neuqua had 12 men on the field and couldn't get that guy off.
So 54 seconds, and they have not stopped the clock unless they have a separate timeout call.
Yes, that's a separate timeout clock. That's the first timeout called by Neuqua. Well, we've been here already now. This is about the 3rd time on the defensive side of the ball where we've had them in 2nd and long, 3rd and long. They're hitting a quick hitter, and we're not making the crisp tackle right up front. We have to do a better job on the defensive side of the ball of reading that first move, coming up under control. We've said it 3 or 4 times. But what's happening right now is Homewood-Flossmoor is getting the ball out quick. They're not allowing Neuqua's bigger front 4 on the defensive side to get in the backfield and maybe come up with a sack or cause a turnover. They're going with a short, quick passing game. That's where the safeties have to come up and help out, and the linebackers have to wrap up.
So with time expiring on the timeout, both teams will go back to work here. Again, it'll be 2nd and 7 from the Wildcat 35. Vikings have control of the football right now. It's 14-14. 2 running touchdowns for each team. No wide receivers out right now. A man in motion in the backfield with Jones under center. Another run up the middle for Allen. We'll try to find some space out the middle and then get hit hard by Carl Reyna and company, but this will just be short from a first down unless they are generous like they have been.
Yeah, there have been a couple interesting spots, but I think this one is actually going to be short. It's going to be 3rd down and about a yard.
So we'll see what happens here. Obviously, if the Wildcats do get the stop here, again, like we've said earlier, the Vikings have not attempted a field goal yet this year, so obviously, possibly, we could see just another run up the middle. Jones under center once again. That same man in motion and a false start on the offense.
Yep.
And you can see number 86,
yep,
who is just not happy with himself right now. We don't have a number on him, but he just face planted down knowing, oh, I screwed up.
Yeah, he came in as an extra tight end, and he just fell forward. That helps Neuqua here, 3rd and 6. Now if you could get a defensive stop for loss, maybe a 2-3 yard loss, you might see a punt. But otherwise, you're right. They're probably going to play for a two plays here to go for the first down.
So 3:50 remaining on the clock here. Grant Palmer running off the sideline to try to get off, and he will. Good hustle there. 14-14 our score. Another run up the middle here from Sean Allen. He'll get hit hard. Will he get the first down? It looks like, some extra stuff there. Dylan Formento not happy with number 11, Tawan Wilson, who kind of shoved him after the whistle there. Nothing going on, though, with the flags. This should be a first down here for the Vikings, and it will be. Another great run by Sean Allen. The Wildcats have not found a way to stop him yet in the backfield.
Now he gets up ahead of steam. He's coming out about 6 yards deep out of a regular I formation, and he's gaining some momentum as he's taking the handoff. And if he hits that first hole, which has been open, he's been into the backfield, they're getting it to the second level very easily right now.
3:20 remaining here in the second quarter. We're all tied at 14, 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 28. It'll be a run up the middle. And it'll be Sean Allen once again, only getting a gain of around 3. So the Wildcats, they're able to stop him a little bit. And it'll be around 2nd and 4.
Right.
Excuse me, 2nd and 6.
Right now what HF is doing down there, sending one receiver in motion on almost every single play, and as he comes towards the line of scrimmage, he's the lead blocker. So the outside cornerbacks, when they see that happening, they've got to call that out. There's got to be better communication so that the safety on the other side of the field to where the motion is going can come up and make that play.
2:40 remaining here in the quarter. 2nd and 6. Out of the shotgun is Jones. It'll be a draw up the middle for Allen, who will break loose, and a touchdown. And flags on the field now. We'll see what that's on, though. They might call this one back.
It looks like there was a hold right about the 5-yard line. Let's see if they called it. There was 2 flags thrown. It would be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so that should bring the ball to right around the 15-yard line. Legal block in the back.
So how far is that going to bring them back now?
Well, the spot of the foul was at the 5, so it should bring it back to the 15. It's still going to be a first down for Homewood-Flossmoor because in high school it does not go from the line of scrimmage. It's at the spot. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Homewood-Flossmoor at the 15 would be my guess.
And you're right on. That is at the 15-yard line. It is going to be a first down. So the Vikings, once again, in very good shape here. 2:30 remaining here in the first half. We're tied at 14 here from Homewood-Flossmoor. 1st and 10 from their own from the Wildcat 15 are the Vikings now. Jones out of shotgun. He's got one wide receiver to his left that goes in motion. It'll be another run up the middle for Allen, who tries to hit a hole, and this time can't find one. He'll be taken down.
That's one of the first times tonight that Homewood-Flossmoor brought the receiver in motion but then didn't use him as the lead blocker, and because of that, Neuqua got into the backfield a little bit easier and were able to slow him down. I wouldn't be surprised, Dom, to see Coach Ellinghaus use a couple timeouts after these next play or two, maybe to preserve a little bit of time here in the first half and try to get the ball one more time.
We're still tied at 14 here. Getting around 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2nd and 8. Are the Vikings in Wildcat territory on the Wildcat 13. Jones once again out of the shotgun. 2 men in the back with him. 2 wide receivers out to his right. It's going to be a fake. Jones is rolling out to his right. He's got some room, and he will be
that's a
driven
late
out.
hit. That's a late hit on Neuqua. Yep, they got away with it the first time. They did not get away with it that time. That was a late hit out of bounds. Penalties are just killing the Wildcats right now in the first half.
And you were right. This is looking to be more of an offensive shootout because both offenses have looked great. This game could be tied right now. It would have been tied if the Vikings do end up scoring here because of that first drive, but because of the penalties that killed Neuqua. So that could come back to bite them.
Well, we'll see what they can do here. If they could try to somehow force them to get into a field goal attempt, which they haven't tried yet this year. But with 1:40 left on the clock, that run plus the half the distance penalty puts the ball on the 4. And, Dom, this is the 13th play of this drive. 13 plays.
That is incredible. 1:40 remaining here in the first half. 1st and goal are the Vikings from the Wildcat 4. Run up the middle for Allen. He'll find an easy hole for a touchdown. And this one is going to count. So another touchdown scored by the Vikings with another run from Sean Allen. And 20-14 is our score.
Yeah, that time Allen went untouched right off the left tackle. No one there. They just blew the line of scrimmage apart. They pushed everybody off to the right. He walked in untouched. So 1:37 left, and hopefully Neuqua can get the ball back and put some points up on the board before the half.
I would really like to see a Garrett Stair return. I think that would really bring the momentum right back to Neuqua Valley, although the clock would still be going here in the first half. I would really like to see Garrett Stair get the ball here. We have not seen him return yet from a kickoff. If that kid gets the ball, he can fly, especially down the sideline working those legs. So we'll see. It's either going to be Hoffman. It could even be Belskis with the short kicks that have been going on right now from Lindquist. But I would definitely like to see Garrett Stair get the ball.
Well, we'll see what happens, and maybe they'll put 2 returners back on this effort because of the time left in the half. There's not much time. But right there, Dom, for Homewood-Flossmoor, 13 plays. That drive was 6 minutes and 53 seconds. They took off the clock. They've had the ball 3 times. They've scored 3 touchdowns. And the defense for Neuqua has given up 2 80-yard touchdown drives and another one of 71. So they're going to definitely have a lot to talk about at halftime and kind of tighten that thing up.
So 21-14 our score here after Lindquist does, in fact, put the extra point in. And right now the Wildcats really needing, especially going into the half, need a score to just get the momentum back in their favor. You would like to see Mark Gronowski use those legs again, especially on those drives. But I would really like to see, like I said before, and I know I've been saying this a lot, but if Garrett Stair gets the ball here, watch out.
Yep, let's see what happens. It looks like he is back on this one as well. They have a couple return men. Let's see if Homewood-Flossmoor goes with a high kick or if they go with the ground ball. That seemed to work a little bit better last time.
Lindquist coming from an angle. It's going to be a little
That's
chip
offside.
shot, and it's going to be offside. That was a very weird angle that Lindquist took, and I really think that's what screwed everything up there because he kind of zigged and zagged his way through trying to throw off the Neuqua Valley the Neuqua Valley return team.
Yeah, it looked like they set up for a little pooch kick. They didn't want it to get back. I think they know about Stair as well, and they don't want to give him a chance late in the half to get his hands on the ball. But that was definitely offside. He was a complete yard, almost a yard and a half past the line of scrimmage when the ball was kicked.
170 viewers right now. We appreciate everyone tuning in and listening to this one. Again, Dominic Liacani, Pete Catazone for Neuqua Media. If you enjoy what you're listening to, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a ton, and we appreciate it.
Let's look for a one-cut return here, Dom. Not a lot of side-to-side. Let's see if they can take it more towards the middle. Another pooch kick.
Uh-oh.
No.
Does HF have the ball?
Neuqua called for a fair catch. They did not allow him a chance to catch the ball. That should be a penalty. Neuqua called for a fair catch. The referees are now discussing this. You could call for a fair catch on a kickoff. They have to allow him an opportunity to catch the football.
And I agree. Everyone's seeing it. Stair and Brian Schaefer, number 17, Dylan Fermento, everyone is going crazy right now. It should be a fair catch, and that should be allowed.
Yeah, this should be a penalty on Homewood-Flossmoor. Let's see. They're still talking. They have not made a signal yet.
And this should, if it is a penalty on Homewood-Flossmoor, it should give them, the Wildcats, pretty good yardage here. And
the flag just came out now, so they did make the call.
Yep, and it is going to be on Homewood-Flossmoor.
Yes.
So they did not allow for the fair catch to be made. Wildcats get the call finally here. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. You can see a lot of the fans on the HF side just not happy about it.
They're actually, I believe that's a 15-yard penalty. So Neuqua's going to start with the ball on the 35-yard line.
This is great field position here. Penalties haunting both teams right now, but more so the Wildcats.
Yes, and well, that play right there was surprising. I know they wanted it. The first one, it looked like they were just trying to pooch it. That looked like they were actually trying to go onside with it. But when you kick it in the air, you're allowed a fair catch. If they would have kicked that on the turf first and it bounces up, then it's a free ball. So Neuqua definitely has a chance to take advantage of this field position right here before the half.
That was a little bit of a smart play there from the Vikings, kind of catching them off guard, and you were right. That little pooch kick. So now the Wildcats will get it on the Vikings 35. Gronowski out of the shotgun, 3 wide receivers to his right. It's going to be a fake toss over there by Stair, and Gronowski's going to try to get something down the sideline and then get driven out of bounds for only a gain of around 5. But you were pointing to something down towards the backfield.
Neuqua Valley got very lucky. Number 75 for Neuqua.
Nolan
Lebrecht, he made an illegal block. He actually pushed the defender a little bit in the back. I thought the lead official was going to call a block in the back. He didn't. So Neuqua got lucky to get away with that one.
So 2nd and 6 here. Only have a gain around 4 on that play. Gronowski out of the shotgun once again. Patrick Hoffman isolated as a wide receiver to his right. 4 wide receivers lined up to the left of Mark Gronowski. Out of the shotgun, Gronowski looking. He's going to throw up a long ball. Patrick Hoffman in the end zone tries to make a one-handed catch and just missed.
Well, he tried to make a one-handed catch because the defender had his left arm wrapped up and he couldn't get it free, but no flag being thrown. The Neuqua coaches are just incensed on the sideline. That was definitely pass interference.
You usually see a lot of pass interference calls being made at the high school level because a lot of the kids can usually be a little out of control, but
a lot of them don't turn their head when the ball's coming. They're playing the receiver's eyes or their hands, and they don't look for the football. Right there is, once again, this is why Gronowski's a college quarterback. You could tell that he's going to play at the next level. He saw before the snap that there was single coverage, and he went to it right away.
So the same setup as last time. This time it's 3rd and 6. Wildcats on the Viking 35.
I think Ellinghaus called a timeout.
And he did. They got the timeout, and Ellinghaus is calling everyone over to talk it over. So as we take this short timeout break a little bit, just to recap, what have you liked from the Wildcat offense so far?
Everything. The offense has been great. They moved the ball up and down the field. The penalties have hurt. We've had a couple false starts, and then we had the 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct on the first drive that backed us up. Neither team has stopped each other. The only possession that came up empty was when we had the 2 back-to-back penalties, ended up in the 3rd and 21, and then we missed a long field goal attempt. But neither team has been able to stop each other on defense. Right now, this is a big 3rd down play, though. I would think being down 7 and the way this game is unfolding with the two offenses, unless there's a loss of yardage here, I would think Coach Ellinghaus might go for it on 4th down. I don't think they're going to try another long field goal. Not that they don't trust Palmer-Domsky, but I think he might realize that it's going to be a shootout, and we got to come away with more 7s than we do 3.
Exactly, and going, especially if they want to still gain control and still have a chance to make this game even closer than they want it to, they need to go into halftime here with the momentum and having that possession, because you know that the Vikings are getting the football going into the second half, and they could potentially put the game away if they go up by 2. So this is a crucial drive here for the Wildcats.
I want to see what happens in this play. Interesting set with 4 wide receivers. Pastore's lined up as a wide receiver in the backfield. I want to see if they sneak him out into the flat.
Gronowski out of the shotgun, 3rd and 6. Looking downfield is Gronowski. He's got Hoffman again. It is missed. He just overthrew him. And it'll be 4th and 6 now.
That's another one that was really close to pass interference, but the sideline judge on that side is not getting down the line. Those plays are 20 to 25 yards away from where he's standing, and he's not throwing the flag. He's not keeping up with the play.
So it looks like the Wildcats will go for it here. I would not be surprised if they did some kind of fake with Mark Gronowski to get his legs moving just to get him the 1st down. He's been great so far, and those distractions we were talking about earlier, maybe trying to do a little bit of a fake, maybe even an option here. Would not be surprised to see it. They might go back to Hoffman. They're going to that same formation with 4 wide receivers to the left.
Look for stare on a quick out. That might have been a false start. They didn't call it.
Gronowski's pass is incomplete. And the Vikings are going to take over with 38 seconds remaining here in the half. So if they want to drive down the field to get it to a 2-possession game, that could really put the game away going into the second half.
Yeah, well, we'll see what they do here. Right now, with 1 timeout, I would think they're going to probably stick to the ground game, see if they could pop one. And you might see a draw or maybe even a short, quick screen pass. If they get 10 to 15 yards or more, then you may see them go to the hurry up and try to score one more time before the half.
38.7 seconds remaining here.
Yeah, the one thing you don't want to do if you're Homewood-Flossmoor is you do not want to turn the ball over, make a mistake here late in the half. So let's see what he does. My guess will be something really quick out of the backfield or a draw play and see what they get.
21-14 our score here. They're just going to knee it.
Yeah, they took a knee out of the shotgun.
Kind of surprising to see there, but we'll see what they have up their sleeve here. They're just going to let the clock wind down. Maybe they're going for one last final play, either that or they're just going to go to half.
Take it to the half. If they took a knee there, they're not going to run a play now. They lost even more yardage. They lost about 7 on that. So they're going to run it down. They don't have to snap it again. The play clocks are about 7 seconds
apart. And you do
apart.
see Homewood-Flossmoor indeed going to the locker room. They'll go into the half up 21-14. Wildcats unable to get the equalizer right before the clock winds down. 2 seconds and 1. We'll go to halftime with the score being 21-14 in favor of the Vikings. A lot of momentum shifts here right at the end, but right now it's the Vikings looking to come away with this one.
Well, when you go to the half, if you're Neuqua Valley here, Coach Ellinghaus has to tell his guys, good news, bad news. Good news is we're in a ball game. We're down 7 only. We have a whole half to play. Bad news is we're killing ourselves. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. Penalties have really come up back to haunt them in the first half, and just some sloppy tackling. They've got to wrap up better, do a better job of getting more people to the ball. This is a good Homewood-Flossmoor team. They have a lot of speed, a lot of quick-hitting running plays that they like to run, and Neuqua's going to have to come up, especially with a lead. With Homewood-Flossmoor playing on the lead, they can run the clock. They're going to take the play clock down as it gets further on. They're going to keep the ball on the ground. Neuqua's got to kind of sell out, take some risks and take some chances, come up to the line of scrimmage. You could see him get burned on a deep pass, but right now they're probably going to have to do that in the second half.
Especially with Homewood-Flossmoor getting the ball to start the second half. That's going to be a huge momentum shift if they are able to score on that drive.
Yeah, well, Nico's got to step up. At some point, you got to make a stop in a football game. You can't just, let a team go down and score every single possession. No one's going to win that way. So it's just like, our baseball background, Dom, right? If you don't score and run, you're never going to win.
Exactly.
If you only give up one, at some point we have to get one anyway. So it's the same thing here. You have to get a stop, get that momentum, and that will fire up the offense. The offense has moved the ball. It's the first time right here in that last drive. And even then, there was 2 shots in the end zone that could have been called pass interference. Neither one were. And we go to half down 7.
So that's going to do it here for the first half here. We're going to take a short break here and let the audio do the talking. We're going to leave some natural audio on and so you can hear the sounds on the field. Band does a great job here with their performances, as well as the dance team and the cheerleaders. So we're going to let that unfold here. It's around 15 minutes to go until the second half starts. We're going to take a short break again. Dominic Liacani, PCAT is own Neuqua Media, Homewood-Flossmoor leading the Wildcats right now with a score of 21-14. Vikings will get the ball coming into the second half as we will take a short break. Hopefully you enjoy what you're listening to. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to see when all of our good content comes out. Again, we're going to take a short break here. Let the audio do the talking, and we will see you for the second half.
They've been actively recording since the mid-70s, producing numerous armed dancers. Shake is one of their main tunes. And now, in the direction of drum majors Alex Contreras, Jack Zabalani, and field commander J.R. Benson, is the band ready? Now, take it away! direction is Sassy and Upbeat Jazz Swing Tune by Christina Aguilera. Show me how you burlesque from the motion picture Burlesque. Tonight, our burlesque features trumpet soloist Chase Bethia. Get on your feet and put your hands together for your very own 2019 Viking Marching Band. Special thanks goes out to their parents and cheer coaches. The Marching Vikings are under the direction of Mrs. Sarah Whitlock, assisted by Mrs. Kim London. Director of Percussion, Mr. Tremaine Love, assisted by Mr. Brian Espinoza. Be sure to join us throughout the season as the Vikings battle for the state championship. Let's hear it again for the 2019 Viking Marching Band.
We're back here at Homewood-Flossmoor High School for round 2 of the IHSA 8A state football playoffs here. Dominic Leacani, Pete Catazone once again. Happy that you're back to join us for the second half here of this second round matchup. We've got some scores to go over here for some other games that are going on right now. So we'll get those to you real quick. The first one we have is Brother Rice. In fact, took down South Elgin today with that final being 25-7. We've got Huntley losing to Marist with that final being 14-7. And then right now at halftime is is Warren and Fremd. Excuse me.
It's okay. It's 21-6.
21-6 right now at half. So we got some close games right now.
We also have Bolingbrook leading Oswego at half 7-0. And a final in Minooka beat Edwardsville 34-17.
Again, Minooka was the number 1 seed coming into the tournament, so no surprises there. They're not number 1 in the power rankings, though. That would be St. Louis, who in fact did win today. They beat Niles ND.
Yeah, well, right now, the Lincoln Way East team is a strong team. Everybody was kind of curious about Minooka because of the strength of schedule. They didn't have a real tough road, but they came out tonight and won again. And right here, Dom, we have to shore some things up at the half. Hopefully the defense will make a couple stops. Homewood-Flossmoor had the ball 4 times in the first half. The first 3 times, they scored 3 touchdowns on drives of 80, 71, and 80. And then the last drive, it just stopped because they took a kneel down and took it to the half. So Neuqua is going to come out. They're going to be kicking off. Homewood-Flossmoor will be receiving the second half kick. And hopefully Neuqua could shore it up, get a quick stop. Maybe a 3-and-out would be great to get the ball back right away and keep that offense rolling.
Right now the score is currently 21-14. We are yet to start second half action here from Homewood-Flossmoor in Viking country. Again, Dominic Leacani, Pete Catazone for Neuqua Media. We're so glad you can join us here today, and thank you for listening in to coverage of the Round 2 IHSA 8A state playoff game between the Vikings and Wildcats here.
We have some other scores too, Dom. While we have a couple minutes, we could do some 7A scores.
Might as well.
We have Batavia beating Rockton Hananiga 48-0.
That is a blowout, and we all knew that Batavia is usually built to win state championships.
Yeah, they're good. Nazareth Academy, also a perennial state finalist and champ. They took down Thornton out of Harvey 49-21. Wheaton Warrenville South 28. Downers Grove North 7. Phillips High School out of the CPS beat Normal Community High School 20-0. Lake Zurich 14, Hersey 7. Final score there. Mount Carmel pulls away late to beat Glenbard North 34-14, and Willowbrook High School beat Yorkville 33-24. Those are some 7A scores from around the state tonight.
Do we have any updates on East St. Louis, or did we go through it, or I just might have?
No, we could do it real quick. East St. Louis, well, they only won. It was a close one, 70-28 against Rock Island, a squeaker. Prairie Ridge beat Simeon 49-0. We have Glenwood Chatham beating Lamont High School 38-28. Providence beat Crete Monet 61-37. And a couple more. Deerfield High School beat Chicago Kenwood 28-13, and Cary Grove over Antioch 14-7.
So yeah, those are your at our halftime scores, but some of them are finals again from other parts around the state.
And will you allow me 10 seconds?
Excuse me.
my alma mater.
Oh no.
Immaculate Conception High School looking for their 4th consecutive state championship.
Oh, yeah.
Won today. They beat Stillman Valley 35-14.
IC Catholic, huh?
IC Catholic back in the day, and
they've
they're
got a
looking
very
for 4
nice.
in a row.
Yeah, they have a very nice turf field over there, actually.
Yes.
Did you play football?
No.
Just baseball.
Baseball, basketball. Yep.
So, how many times did they win when you were down there?
Football? Never.
Yeah. No, really?
No, they had won right before I got there back in the 80s, but they've always had a really good program. This year's going to be a little bit tougher for them, but good to see them doing well. But right now we got to focus on getting Neuqua Valley back into the end zone and hopefully get a quick stop, like we said, and tie this game up.
Exactly. The defense, of course, needs to tighten up. But, again, this Homewood-Flossmoor team has been great. We can see why they're the number 6 seed going into these playoffs.
Oh, without a doubt. They're explosive on offense. The running back, just once he gets that head of steam, we mentioned it a couple times. If the front 4 or 5 of Neuqua's defensive line could plug that hole and make him make a cut, that allows time for the linebackers and safeties to kind of rally up to the ball. But for the majority of of the first half, that hasn't happened. The wide receivers from Homewood-Flossmoor are doing a great job coming in motion, hitting that kick-out block, and from there they just take off.
So Palmer Domsky getting ready to do the kicking duties once again for Ellinghaus, again from their own 40, getting ready to start the second half of play here. The Wildcats trailing the Vikings 21-14. They're only down by a touchdown in a possession.
I wouldn't mind seeing this ball get on the ground a little bit, maybe take a couple hops, see if we could create a turnover.
Kick by Domsky is just a little floater. We've seen this before in the Naperville Central game, and the man will just knee it for Homewood-Flossmoor beyond the 30 at around the 32. Again, we did see that little squeaker come from the Naperville Central game. That is how the Wildcats actually came out with the win. That final score being 19-14, but that final play of the game, I mean, those little chip shots there from Domsky are hard to catch sometimes.
They're hard to catch, and he was able to just get it in a perfect spot that time, and it caused the receiver to try to slide and catch it. It hit his ankle, and Neuqua fell on it.
So let's see if Coach Jones and Coach Ellinghaus sent a message to the defense here to get them going again. Jones is under center here, a one wide receiver isolated to the right. It'll be a run up the middle for Sean Allen. Defense not able to bring him down yet, and he'll get a gain of around 5, finally being taken down by Christian Allen and Trey Borski.
Great job by number 21 on Neuqua Valley.
Christian Allen?
Christian Allen. He was on the outside. He was able to just get enough of his jersey to slow him down and allow the rest of the defenders to come up and take him down. Otherwise, that would have been another big run to start the half.
So 11:30 remaining here in the third quarter. 21-14 still our score. 2nd and 4 for the Vikings on their own 39. Jones under center once again. 2 men in the backfield with him. Another run up the middle there for Sean Allen, who will get taken down by Sam Applebaum and company. Let's see how the referees and officials spot this one. This should be a first down.
It looked like he did have it that time. And then another job. Brian Smith, offensive lineman for Homewood-Flossmoor, number 71, with a little kick-out block. He's the right guard. He pulled. Once the snap was made, he came out of his stance, went around to the left, and they hit the hole. And right away, another first down for Homewood-Flossmoor to start the second half.
So with just over 11 minutes remaining as the clock continues to wind down here in the third quarter, Wildcats still find themselves trailing 7-0 and by 7, and another quick first down by Sean Allen with 2 rushing.
At some point, Neuqua's going to really have to bring up more linebackers and safeties to the line of scrimmage. They have to get them behind the chains. That's a false start.
That is a false start here. Unless they're calling this on Neuqua, which Ellinghaus obviously is trying to say it's not. We'll see what the officials come up with here. Again, just under 11 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 21-14 our score. Referees trying to figure out what's going on. Dominic Jones, the quarterback, trying to influence what's going on. I don't think he should really be in that conversation too much.
I don't know what's taking so long. It looked like they're going to reset the play clock and say that nothing happened.
And Ellinghaus, Ellinghaus is irate. He is irate right now.
He has every right to be. This crew has been very, very undecided on a lot of calls tonight. They're not sure what they're doing.
So 1st and 10 from their own 43. Jones looking out the pass. He'll throw a deep ball up to number 6, Pauling, who's got it at around the 20-yard line. Number 14, Puneet Singh, not able to get there with the coverage. And Pauling hauled it in at around the 20-yard line. And this crowd here for HF is getting hype.
Well, that's what happens when we talked about when you have to start bringing your safeties up and your linebackers to stop the run. It leaves one-on-one coverage. They have a lot of speed to burn, and it was a perfect pass, too.
So with 10:30 remaining here in the third quarter, Wildcats find themselves in a hole once again. This is basically a must-needed stop if they want to continue to compete.
They're going to say to reset the play clock again. This crew is very, very confused. They've done a poor job the entire first half of handling the game. Not so much the calls. It's the handling of the game, how you process it. It shouldn't take 1 to 2 minutes to come up with a simple call. Either it's a false start or it's not. Either it's reset the play clock or it's not. It's stuck at 25. Now they got it to go back to 40. But I know Coach Ellinghaus is still screaming at the officials because the play before the long pass, it looked like a false start, and they all got together and decided that it was a reset the play clock and nothing happened.
So 10:20 now remaining, but they should push that up if they haven't already.
Well, I think they're more worried about the actual, not the game clock. Let's see if they're going to go up 2 seconds. He's putting 24, it looks like. He's trying to signal 10:24.
Vikings still in control of this one, 21-14 our score. And the play clock will continue to run.
Yeah, they moved the play clock to 24 seconds and then started it.
So Jones out of the shotgun, a wide receiver at either side of him with Sean Allen in the backfield. Just around 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Another run up the middle for Sean Allen. He'll try to squeak by some defenders and then get taken down by Julius Earl. The ball was loose. Julius Earl trying to signal that it's a fumble. And he is irate right now. Everyone's trying to figure out where the ball is.
Neuqua thought that they got it out, but the officials are saying he was down by contact before the ball came out.
So 9:40 now and counting down. That was a gain of around 5. So it'll be 2nd and 5 from the Wildcats 17. Vikings once again trying to increase their lead here. Again, going for some 7s and not some 3s. Jones out of the shotgun once again. 3 wide receivers to his left in a weird formation.
Watch the off-tackle left run here.
Exactly right. But this time, Allen is stopped.
I think he still made enough really close to the first down. Let's see if they gave it to him or not. He might be just short. It's hard to tell from this angle down where we're at, but
and they're going to give it to him.
Yep, another first down. What they're doing right now, Homewood-Flossmoor, is they're spreading out wide receivers. They're putting 3 or 4 to one side. They're putting them way out towards the sideline. What that does is it forces Neuqua to send 3 or 4 defensive players that way. It opens up the line of scrimmage, and Allen's just hitting the holes.
9 minutes remaining in the third quarter, 21-14 still our score. 1st and 10 for the Vikings on the Wildcat 12. Handoff here to Allen, who this time is going to be brought down by a number of Wildcats.
Right now, what I would do if I was Neuqua Valley, there's an old saying, the fullback will always take you to where the ball's going to be. They're not using a fullback. They're just using a wide receiver. They're putting him in motion, and every time that wide receiver comes to the line of scrimmage, when they snap the ball, he's going where the play is being run. So that's what whoever that cornerback is has to communicate that to the linebackers and to the safeties.
Just under 8:30 on the clock here in the third quarter. Here's a snap, the handoff to
Good job.
Allen, but a good job by the defense of bringing him down.
71.
Yeah, that's Matthew Apple, who is also a amazing track star here at Neuqua Valley.
Apple did a great job. He got leverage. He actually got lower than the offensive lineman, was able to get past him, and then he put the right arm out and slowed him down and was able to wrap him up.
3rd and 8 now. This could be a crucial stop here if the Wildcats can.
Neuqua's making a late substitution. They might want to take a timeout here. They have too many men on the field.
No, but Jones is going to roll out to the outside anyways and try to get some yardage. I'm surprised. Is there no flag?
It was on the opposite side of the field. They had too many men on the field. This is going to be a 5-yard penalty. Make it 3rd and 1 now, or 3rd and 3, excuse me. I thought Coach Ellinghaus would use a timeout because it looked like they weren't going to get him off the field. That's a big, big penalty right there.
And yes, you are right. Oh, wait, unless HF is screaming right now, something's going on.
Yeah, he threw a flag, and the referee's not even looking. They threw a flag, and they're not calling it.
Wow, that is crucial. This crew
is very, very confused right now. Very confused.
You can hear a lot of booing right now from the Homewood-Flossmoor side. This is,
and
look at Matthew Apple trying to say, bring on the boos. It's going to be 4th down.
It's going to be 4th down. And, Dom, the thing about that was the official who dropped the flag, the player wasn't even close to the sideline.
That's Emmanuel Rice, who was trying to run off.
He was literally 5 yards from getting off. It wasn't like he was a half a step. They are going
to try a field goal here. This is the first time they've tried to do that this year.
Yep.
Pauling really trying to get it off. They will. The kick is up. It is.
Hit the upright and
went in. Hit the upright and went in.
27-yarder.
Wow. It's a 2-possession game now.
Yeah, that was a really, really poorly done by the officiating crew. They didn't reset the clock. The outside official that threw the flag, when you're an official and you throw a flag, you can't let that play go on without running over. Instead, you have to tell the head guy, hey, I threw a flag. He didn't even look at him, wouldn't turn his back. The coaches were yelling and screaming. He didn't even acknowledge it.
And I would do the exact same thing if I was Coach Buzia. I mean, for HF, that was just That's terrible.
Yeah.
And there's really, I don't want to say there's no words to describe it because we're the guys who are supposed to have words. But that's unacceptable if you're a officiating crew. That just cannot happen, and you can still see them going crazy on the sideline. They think they should have seven instead of a 3 here. But nevertheless, Lindquist puts up his first 3 points of the year.
And what's happening right now is the head coach is talking to the head official, and he's telling him, you threw your partner threw the flag. You didn't even turn around and acknowledge that he was throwing the flag. That was a blatant too many men. It should have been 3rd and 3. Instead, it ends up 4th and 8. They were able to convert. That drive, Dom, was 7 plays, and it went 68 yards. And ended up with a field goal, 24-14, and Neuqua down 10.
That was
but that's
a lucky field goal, too.
That's kind of a moral victory right now because that's the first time we have kept them out of the end zone.
Exactly.
So let's turn this into a 3-point game right here.
I agree with you there. Number 10 is going to do the kicking. Xavier Kinley list this time. Xavier McKinney, excuse me. A little number once again. It's going to be taken by Patrick Hoffman at around the 30-yard line, trying to find some space out the middle and run, and it'll get brought down at around the Neuqua Valley 40-yard line.
Good job by Hoffman. Let it bounce one time, made sure he secured it, went straight up the field. Right now, for Neuqua Valley, stay calm. Don't try to be the hero. You have more than enough time left here. You have to turn this drive, though, has to turn into points. You cannot come away down 10 and give them the ball again because, like we said, they run the ball. They're going to shorten the game. They're going to let that play clock get down under 6-7 seconds every single time before they snap it. So the possessions will be very, very few. You got to score here.
7:36 remaining. It's now a 10-point game, 24-14. Gronowski out of the shotgun on their own 40. Low snap, but caught there by Gronowski and taken from a handoff to Moreno, who only gained around 2 yards.
Yeah, Moreno went off the right tackle there. It was a little bit of a kind of a miscommunicated handoff. The snap was low, like you said, and then even after that, trying to get the ball back to Moreno, he looked like they had trouble getting the exchange smoothly, and it slowed that play down.
It's only a gain of around 3 there. Again, 24-14 still our score. Around 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. 2nd and 7 are the Wildcats on their own 43. Gronowski once again out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to either side of him. A man in the backfield to his right, which is Moreno. The snap. Play action. This time it's going to be Gronowski trying to run, and number 25, Jalen Alucone, brought him down in the backfield. A great read there.
That time, as soon as Gronowski went to the right, there was only one wide receiver lined up that way. They had that covered, so the safety was able to just shoot the gap. I'm really surprised they haven't gotten the ball more to Garrett's there. And that's the person that on these outside patterns here, the little slants and the 10-yard outs that we've seen over the last couple weeks. It doesn't seem like they've trusted that yet today. Like, want to see if they go to that soon.
6:20 remaining here. 3rd down. It's 3rd and 8 from their own 42 are the Wildcats. Gronowski once again out of shotgun. 2 wide receivers to his left, 1 to his right, which is Hoffman, his go-to guy. Taking it. And the backfield scrambling. Gronowski's going to fire it deep. Looking for Larkin downfield. Nothing. That was kind of confusing. It didn't look like Larkin was hustling as much as he could have.
I don't know that he saw the ball immediately. When he turned over his shoulder on the dead run and looked up, it looked like he had a hard time spotting him. By the time he did, he couldn't catch up.
And again, obviously that high ankle sprain could really restrict them, and now it looks like the punting unit's going to come out.
Yeah, he did not look. You can see it right now. He's hobbling off the field. The ankle sprain is definitely affecting his speed because normally he would have pulled away for that.
It's going to be Sam Horvat to do the punting here for the Wildcats. So not a good start for Neuqua Valley at all with 6 minutes exactly on the clock here. We're already halfway through the third quarter. Again, Dominic Leocounty, Pete Catazone for Neuqua Media. Here's a snap and the kick there from Horvat is a long one. He launches it pretty far.
Great kick.
That was a beautiful kick. Carl Reyna trying to prevent it from going any further, and that'll have HF at around the 15-yard line.
43-yard punt.
Obviously, Homewood-Flossmoor very happy with the position they're in right now. It's a 10-point game and a 2-possession game as well, so if HF can really put another one on the board here, it could secure a victory, possibly.
Well, right now, I think if you're Neuqua, you have to take some risks. You're going to have to come up. You're going to have to try and start stop the run. Right now with 5:50 left in the third quarter, some of the drives in the first half that Homewood-Flossmoor put together were 10, 12-play drives that lasted 6-7 minutes. Neuqua cannot afford that right now. Look for Robertson to step up on the left end too and make some plays. He's got to get in the backfield here.
1st and 10, go the Vikings from their own 15. Fake handoff. Jones running it up the middle. He's got a lot of space down the sideline. He'll keep going and get pushed out of bounds. Could be another first down there.
It was a gain of 11. Jones on that one is a basic RPO, run pass option. He showed the ball. As soon as he saw the defensive end for Neuqua slant in, he tucked it, pulled it, went around the left, and got 11 yards.
Good smart play there from the quarterback, Dominic Jones here. 5:42 remaining in the third quarter. 1st and 10 after that first down from Jones. Ball's going to be on the Vikings' own 27. They'll take it from there. Jones out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. A man in the backfield, which is Allen. Allen's going to run it up the middle and get around 5 yards. So if they can keep doing that, then they're in a very good position to keep the clock running.
I've mentioned this young man before, and I'm going to say his name again. Number 71, Brian Smith for Homewood-Flossmoor, left guard. What a player. That is the 3rd time he has come around on a pull and just absolutely pancaked one of the Neuqua defenders. He has been putting people on their backside. He's listed at 6 foot and 265 pounds. He moves really.
He is a sophomore.
Yeah, he
or
moves
excuse
really,
me, he's
really,
a junior.
Really well for his size.
So 2nd and 5. Jones under center. It's going to be another run to Allen, who's going to try and bounce to the outside and stay on his feet. And no one's going to be able to bring him down until around the 45-yard line where Trey Borski will push him out of bounds here with just under 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Neuqua still trailing by 10.
Well, for those of you that are listening that are Chicago Bears fans, you've heard a lot this year about the defense being on the field a lot because the offense has pretty much done their job tonight for Neuqua, but right now the defense is just not getting off the field, and what you're starting to see, Dom, a lot of hands on hips. They're looking tired. They're getting blown off the ball a little bit. They're going to have to really, really bear down and kind of reach deep to say, stop this drive here.
4:56 remaining in the third quarter. 2 wide receivers out to Jones's right under center. It's going to be another run up the middle to Allen, who this time will be tripped up, and Belskis will take him down. And Reyna's happy with that one. Not a gain at all.
Reyna did a great job. He came in and made the initial hit, took him right by the ankles and pulled him to the ground on top of him for no gain. Now, this is where you would like to have them in a 2nd and long, but you've got to come up and look for the quick passes. If they beat you down the field, that's almost a chance you have to take at this point in the game. You have to try to stop the quick bubble screen and slants and wrap up right away. They have to make a stop here and get the ball back.
4:23 and counting down on the clock here, remaining in the third quarter. Wildcats trail the Vikings. 24-14 is our score. 2nd and 10 from the Wildcat 45 out of the shotgun. Allen up the middle once again. 2 missed tackles, another missed tackle. Allen's going to rush down the field. Is he going to get a touchdown? He is.
Yeah, Allen, just too much speed. He's hit the hole a couple times. Now, that time, Neuqua had a player in the backfield with a chance to make a play. But once you miss that initial tackle, he's just gone. He's got speed to burn. Now you know why he's averaging 7+ yards a carry. He just, once he gets through that first hole, there's no one's going to catch him.
A 3-possession game. 3-possession game here as the Wildcats are still trailing here now as the extra point's going to come up here from McKinney. Excuse me. That's Lindquist, and it's good. It's 31-14 our score. Time is starting to run out for the Wildcats on their season. They're going to have to make some plays and quick if they want to advance to round 3.
Yeah, that was a 6-play, 85-yard drive capped off on a 55-yard run by Allen. 2 minutes and 1 second off the clock. Neuqua trails by 17. And well, right now, Dom, it's not over, but they have to pretty much be perfect the rest of the way. The thing that's very concerning right now for Neuqua Valley is you just can't get any stops on defense. They're tired. You can even see if you look over at the sideline right now, a lot of players just slowly walking to the bench. They've been on the field a lot, and the one thing we thought that they might have a chance of doing was controlling the line of scrimmage, but Homewood-Flossmoor has done a great job. Their blocking has been just superb up front. The wide receivers have done a really nice job when they come in motion, taking out the corners and linebackers. Once again, you mentioned it earlier. You could tell why they're the number 6 seed. They're a very talented crew.
So now Neuqua trails 31-14. With 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter, like you said, Pete, they are going to have to be perfect.
I would like to see Gronowski and company go with a little bit more of an up-tempo now. Not necessarily the hurry-up, full out, but definitely get to the line of scrimmage and start running it up-tempo. See if we can catch Homewood-Flossmoor off guard.
Lindquist with the kick. It's going to be a squib up the middle, and this time it's going to be taken by Pistori at around the 30. They'll try to find some space and then get wrapped up and keep on his feet until he gets driven back, but he'll stay around the 40-yard line.
That was a tough ball for Pistori to handle. That was a quick one-hopper off the turf. He handled it cleanly. Well, here we go. It's on Neuqua now. They want to keep their season alive. They've got to cash in on this possession. They have pretty much any chance.
3:57 remaining in the third quarter. 31-14 our score in favor of the Vikings. They've been dominant so far in this game. I wouldn't say dominant on the defensive side of the ball, but they've just been better than Neuqua.
And you know what? They're very well coached. They're very disciplined. They haven't taken any really bad penalties. They're in the places that they need to be.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 39. Gronowski out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to his left. Handoff to the outside for Moreno, who's going to try to get some decent yardage, and he will drive forward, and he'll get around 3 yards.
You could tell, Dom, that Moreno still doesn't look 100% either after the injury last week. He still looks a little bit banged up. That usual burst that he has once he hits the hole, it just seems a half a step slower tonight. He's grinding. He's playing really, really hard. But just I wish he was 100% because you could tell he might be a little bit still banged up.
So 3:27 on the clock and counting down. Gronowski out of center. 2nd and 6 on their own 43. Fake pitch to the outside. The ball's fumbled. And the handoff was going to go to Brandon Eng. Fortunately, the Wildcats recover, but they'll lose around 3 yards.
That was a neat play design. They went with a fake quick screen by Gronowski. He kind of pump faked, and then the running back came underneath and was going to take a delayed draw, but the handoff, that's the 3rd time tonight that there's been a little bit of a miscommunication with the handoff. The first 2 didn't hurt us. That one was a fumble, and now we're at 3rd and about 11.
So it's actually 3rd and 10 right now, right back where we started when it was 1st down. 2:48 remaining here. Crowd getting into it for HF. 31-14 still our score on their own 39. The Wildcats desperately
Watch
need
the pressure.
something.
They look like they're going to show. They're showing blitz.
Gronowski out of the
come.
shotgun, rolling out. A lot of pressure. Going to fire it off to Moreno. Will try to stay on his feet, but is ruled down in the backfield.
They're going to have to punt here, Dom. You would love to go for it, but it's 4th, and you're looking at almost 16 or 17 yards. You have to punt and hope for some kind of a turnover to try to get the ball back.
So you were right. Neuqua Valley needed to be perfect, and they aren't. And this could possibly, I'm not saying wrap up the game, but it's getting there.
We still have a quarter left. They had a good play call on for that blitz. It was a throwback screen to the running back, but Moreno had to reach back for it because Gronowski was under pressure. It wasn't exactly as accurate as he normally is, and it caused him to slip and fall.
Punt here from Horvat, another very good one. Pauling is just going to let this thing go right behind him. Reyna touches it.
He better pick the ball up. A lot of people don't know that rule. Once you touch it as the punting team, if you don't down it, the other team, Homewood-Flossmoor right there, could have picked that ball up and ran with it, and even if Homewood-Flossmoor would then fumble it, it wouldn't be a turnover. They would get it back at the spot where they picked it up. So when you're on the kicking side, you got to make sure you cover that ball up.
So Reyna did, in fact.
Yes, he finished it. He completed it.
He did finish it. He went to the end zone, but again, really nothing going on there, obviously, because he touched it before. So 1:38 remaining here in the third quarter. 31-14 in favor of the Vikings.
I would be absolutely shocked to see Homewood-Flossmoor throw another forward pass the rest of this game.
I agree with you, keeping that ball on the ground. In fact, it is going to be another handoff up the middle. But this time, it's Sean Allen again, and he'll get a gain of around 5 yards. The Wildcat defense really needing something to just get momentum. A fumble is really what they need right now.
Well, there's an old saying in coaching in any sport, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Right now, the coach for Homewood-Flossmoor is looking at a 5-yard gain almost every single time they're touching the ball on the ground. If I'm him, we're shortening the game. We want to get out of here with a victory. This play clock right now, Dom, is at 17. I'd be surprised if they don't let it run a little bit more. They're actually at the line.
Jones, under center, taking it. Another handoff here, but this time in the backfield is the Wildcats. And Trey Borski and company pursued Allen. That's what you would have liked to see throughout the earlier parts of this game.
It actually looked like the right tackle for Homewood-Flossmoor came out of his stance and slipped. It does look like the field's getting a little slicker as it gets colder. Sometimes the turf gets a little bit slick. We saw Marino slip on that play. We saw Gronowski slip. And that one, he actually whiffed, and we were able to get in the backfield.
So with 30 seconds counting down here on the clock in the third quarter, Jones out of the shotgun, 3rd and 6, excuse me. Another run up the middle for Allen, and he'll get another first down with that run up the middle.
And that's where sometimes, and these are young players, so they're still learning the game. You know, when we talk about physical skills with mental, right? In that situation, they dropped back and looked like they were going to throw and then ran a delayed draw. You got to know in your mind on defense, they're up 17. They're very unlikely to throw. And even if they do, I'm going to stay and just hold my gap and make sure. I'm going to use my eyes. Right there, they went for the ball fake, able to get the draw and the first down. That's going to take us to the end of the third quarter.
So we're going to go into the fourth quarter here. Everyone all around the building holding up 4s. In fact, it actually looks like Homewood-Flossmoor is mocking the Wildcats' 4s. We're getting ever so close to finishing this one, folks. 12 more minutes of ball here from Homewood-Flossmoor High School. Again, the Wildcats and Vikings going at it here in round 2 of the IHSA 8A Football State Playoffs. Dominic Liacani, P. Catazone, Neuqua Media. If you enjoy what you're listening to, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for more notifications. We're almost to the point of hitting 700 subscribers on this channel. We're getting there.
That's great. Once again, Neuqua Media does a great job giving all of you a chance to get this experience and opportunity to call games and to get some games under your belt, whether it's basketball, baseball, football. You did a great job doing the state baseball playoffs last year.
Thank you.
And love filling in. I wish Jack was here. I wish he was feeling better.
Absolutely.
But we got a quarter left. We don't have stats in front of us, but my guess, Homewood-Flossmoor's got to have almost 250 yards rushing.
So we're just getting ready to get back underway. 1st and 10 from their own 36. It's going to be a fake pass, and Allen's going to go up the middle and gain around 7 yards.
And that goes back to what we just said at the last play of the third quarter, right? If you're falling for a fake pass right now, we got to be more disciplined with their eyes. Homewood-Flossmoor does a great job of selling it, though.
And I just want to point out, you can see a lot of the Neuqua students starting to pour out of the seats and make their way to the exits. So
it's a cold night and a long ride home. And it's even longer when your team is not winning. So still have a quarter left. Anything could happen, but you're going to need a couple breaks now. Right now, Homewood-Flossmoor is in the driver's seat. If they just don't turn the ball over, it's going to be very difficult for Neuqua to come back.
11:20 on the clock here, remaining in this one. 31-14, 2nd and 3 on their own 34. Handoff to Allen. This time he won't get that much yardage here. He'll probably stay exactly where the line of scrimmage was, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that time, if you looked before the snap, Neuqua Valley had 9 guys at what they call in the box, which is within about 4 to 5 yards of the line of scrimmage between the tackles. That's what they're going to have to do right now. And once again, let's see if Homewood-Flossmoor, they've run it 3 times in a row on 3rd down, where the quarterback drops back, looks like he's going to pass, and then has a delay handoff. Let's see if Neuqua could be disciplined, not fall for that, keep their eyes on the running back.
10:40 remaining in the fourth quarter here. 31-14 our score. 3rd and 2 on their own 44. Handoff up the middle to Allen. He's got the first down and a little bit more around the 50-yard line. Sean Allen has been terrific.
Oh, he's definitely, that's the best word to describe it. Right there, he got hit pretty much about within a yard of the line of scrimmage and just absolutely kept his legs churning, spun, and picked up another 5 to 6 yards afterwards. He's really, really hard to bring down, and you add that with the package of speed that he has, it's a lethal combination.
So with 10:10 on the clock here in the fourth quarter.
Start watching the play clock too, Dom. Now, if you're a well-coached team, there is no way you're snapping this ball before it's down below above 5 seconds.
31-14 our score here still. Low snap there, and another run for Sean Allen, who will only gain around a yard or 2 on that carry.
Nice job by Robertson coming in and bringing him down from the side, holding him to only a 2-yard gain. And these are the times as an athlete where you've got to really dig down. Like you said, you start feeling that sense of loss. You're down 17 late. You're not sure if you got to really have a chance, but you have to have that pride. You've got to step up and try to get a stop. They have not forced this team to punt yet tonight.
9:20 on the clock here. That play clock winding down. 31-14 our score here. 2nd and 8 on the Neuqua Valley 49. Out of the shotgun is Jones. Hand off to the outside. No, it's going to be a fake, and Jones is going to run all the way up the middle and get a lot of yardage. He'll keep going and chugging down to the 25-yard line. In the red zone now are the Vikings.
Well, when Allen has the dominance that he's had all game, of course you're going to key on him. Every one of the linebackers came up, looked right at him. Quarterback kept the ball tucked. It went right up the middle for a big gain. They've got everything working right now on offense.
So 9 minutes to go here in this one. Again, 31-14 in favor of the Vikings. 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 24. Letting the play clock wind down, or actually no, a little bit of a delay.
Officials timeout on the field. It looks like, is that Carl?
They're going to tell Carl to get off the field.
Carl Rainey had to get off the field. I think he's got a little blood on the leg, so he's going to have to go get that taped up or bandaged real quick. He just slammed his helmet down. He's frustrated that he had to come out for that.
He is very frustrated. He's going up and down, and he's complaining about it right now to the trainer, who wants telling them to hurry it up a little bit so he can get back on the field. 8:37 and counting down on the clock. 1st and 10 on the Wildcat 24. A handoff to the outside for Sean Allen, who's going to pick up some steam, break a tackle, and keep going all the way to the outside. Touchdown, Homewood-Flossmoor. That should put this one away.
Yeah, that's going to do it. 24-yard run. We had him in the backfield, had 2 hands on him, spun out. He's just an elusive runner. He's strong and fast, and that combination has proven to be deadly tonight for the Wildcats.
So 8:26 still remaining in this one, but it's 37-14. Let's see if Lindquist can make it 38. Here's the hold, the snap hold, and the kick is up. A little squibber that just fits in that right upright. 38-14 now our score. It's a 16-point deficit.
Yeah, it's a 76-yard drive, 8 plays, capped off on a 24-yard touchdown run by Allen. We don't, unfortunately, when you are doing high school media, you don't have stats because you don't have enough of a crew to do it. But if we did have a statistician here, Dom, there's no doubt in my mind that they've rushed for over 300 yards tonight, Homewood-Flossmoor, and Allen probably has close to 220 or 230 run by himself.
Well, how many touchdowns do we have total for the Vikings here?
The Vikings have scored 5 touchdowns.
And I'm going to say 4 of those are Allen.
Yes.
So when we look at them, I mean, I was talking to a lot of guys on the team about the film that they were looking at. They said that running back was really good. They can't pass as much as they do run, and that run game has proven to be deadly for the Wildcats.
Well, when you see this run game, you know why they don't pass. They don't need to.
Exactly.
Now, next week, if they hold on here for the last 8:26, then they're going to play Lincoln Way East. We'll see if Lincoln Way East can come up with a way to slow down that running game and force them to throw the ball. That's going to be the way to beat this team.
Sean Allen, I would not be surprised to hear that he's going to play football in college.
Absolutely. I'll tell you right now, if you're Coach Ellinghaus, and I think Coach Barry's the special team coach, if you have any kind of a special team trick play up your sleeve, this is definitely time to call it right here. Some kind of maybe a reverse or a throwback across the field. You need to try everything. You need a big play to get back in this game and have any chance at all.
Lindquist with the squib up the middle. A flag is going to be thrown. That was offsides once again.
That's the 4th time tonight that we've had offsides on a kickoff between the two teams.
That's been sloppy.
Yeah, it has been. And honestly, in the defense of the refs, which tonight there hasn't been much of a defense for these referees, but all 4 of them have been obvious. They've all been, even the coaches know they're yelling at the kids. Like we said earlier, the game has not been decided by the refs, but they've been very, very indecisive with calls.
Like you said, confused.
Confused. Not that they're wrong with the call. We're not
exactly
trying to say that the call was wrong. They may have gotten it right with the exception of 1 or 2, but it's the time that it's taking to put out the yardage or the time on the clock. That's what's slowing everything down.
Now,
let's see if Neuqua tries something
obviously, going back to the very first drive that the Wildcats had. If they would have scored, do you think that would have changed the outcome of this game a lot?
You never know, but it definitely wouldn't have hurt, that's for sure. It kind of set him back a little bit.
Hoffman will take it at the 20-yard line, the 25. Make a nice move at
that's going to be
taken around.
Block in the back. The referee 20 yards away threw the flag. The one right next to it pulled it out and put it back, and the ref that was 20 yards down threw it for an illegal block in the back. That ball's going to come back to the 20-yard line.
So the Wildcats really not doing themselves any favors on that play. With this game being a 16-point deficit, the Vikings have the lead here. It was a block in the, or no, they're saying it's holding, or no, that it was a block in the back there on the Wildcats, and they'll move them back 10 yards from where the ball was.
Well, the flag was thrown at the 30. Now I want to see if they can move them. It should be at the 20. I don't know why they're going to go to the, he's marking all the way back to the 15-yard line. Well, either they threw the flag to the wrong position or they marked it off wrong, because that shouldn't have been a 15-yard penalty.
So 8:18 remaining in this one. Vikings lead by 16. Gronowski out of the shotgun, 1st and 10. It's going to be a run down the sideline for Gronowski at the 30, the 35, and he'll get tripped up at around the 36, and he's saying, let's keep this thing going right now.
I love the heart of Gronowski, but right there, that would have been a smarter move for him to just run out of bounds. Not only do you save a couple seconds, you save yourself from taking that hit.
You can hear Homewood-Flossmoor yelling at the...
They're right. The clock stopped, and it shouldn't have right after the first down. That clock should be moving.
Just under 8 minutes to go here. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 35. A quick pass up the middle that goes right through the hands of Garrett Stair, and he kind of taps his helmet saying, that's on me. Sorry, Gronk.
Well, Garrett Stair was coming across the middle, and Stacy Terry, the defensive back for Homewood-Flossmoor, was lining him up, and I think he might have heard a couple of footsteps on that one. He kind of short-armed it a little bit. Normally something he doesn't do. He's very, very sure-handed. Really, really good receiver for Neuqua.
7:51 remaining in this one. 38-14 in favor of the Vikings. It's a 3-possession game. It's 2nd and 10 from their own 35 of the Wildcats. Fake pass. It'll be now a pass out the middle to Moreno, who's got all the space in the world out the middle to work with, and he's going to keep running. And they're going to throw a flag on Garrett Stair that was holding it around the 30-yard line. So that's going to come back.
Yep. It'll be once again from the spot of the foul, so it should be back to the 40-yard line, but it'll be 1st down Neuqua Valley.
So good run there from Moreno, obviously, with that left leg injury.
You could tell. You could just tell he doesn't have his normal stride. He's running hard. He's still moving better than both of us can. But,
obviously.
But he's not 100%, and you could tell. They called a personal foul against the defense. Wow.
Oh, wow.
The coach at Homewood-Flossmoor is beside himself. That is.
And you could see Keegan Murray kind of doing one of these, like, keep running your mouth on the sideline. But, I mean, that's got to be one of the worst calls.
Well, everybody in the stadium here thought it was a hold.
Oh, yeah.
And they called it the other way, so we'll take it.
So 7:40 remaining in this one. Wildcats on the Viking 11-yard line. First time that they've been in scoring position in a while. 38-14. 1st and 10. Gronowski going to roll out to his left and run and keep going, and then get hit hard at around the 7-yard line. So he'll gain around 3 to 4 yards. So it'll be second. Oh, no, he'll gain around 5, so it'll be 2nd and 5 here.
I was watching, and we all look at different things when a play is going on. I happened to be looking towards the left side, and I saw the lead official looking up at the press box, telling them to stop the clock while the ball was being snapped. And when the play was being run, he wasn't even watching the play. So, like I said, very confused tonight.
Gronowski out of the shotgun, rolling to his right, going to throw it up for Garrett Stair, who's going to make his way into the corner. Did he have the touchdown? No, he's just short at around the half-yard line.
It looked like he tried to reach the ball out. Couldn't tell if he got it in or not. The referee could not get to the spot to see it. He was behind it, but they're going to mark it right on just inside the 1, I believe.
So if Neuqua Valley scores here, it's obvious that they're going to go for the onside. Yes. They're going to have to.
Yes. Gronowski, this would be a quarterback keeper right here if I'm calling the plays. Gronowski with a little push from behind.
I agree with you. You got Moreno and Pastore in the back. at the half-yard line. Gronowski. It's going to be a
hand
run
it
up
off.
the middle to Moreno, who is
Touchdown.
in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Neuqua Valley. Bring this game to a 2-possession competition. Or no, are they not giving it to him?
Yes, the outside official signaled a touchdown.
A middle official in here is waving his hands. Not sure what's going on. No one's celebrating.
I think they might just trying to separate the players, or might have been having words.
Allinghouse is
Personal foul against Neuqua Valley. Touchdown's good, and they're going to mark it on the kickoff, Dom.
okay. So the touchdown's still going to count. Again, we have not seen Domschke kick a field goal, or he has attempted a field goal but missed very early in this one.
Yeah, they're down 18 here. I would think they're going to have to go for 2 to try to get it to 16, so that 2 8s would then tie the game. So I definitely would think they're going to go for it. They were down 24, so 3 8s at that point would tie it. I think they're going to go for 2.
That would be the smart decision here.
He just started the play clock, so there's still time. He signaled for the play clock to start. Now they finally turned it on. It's at 23 as we speak.
6:46 remaining in this one, but that doesn't matter on this play. 38-20 is our score in favor of
Neek was very confused. They don't
the
have
Vikings.
to watch for Hoffman on a fade.
Gronowski out of the shotgun, going for 2 here are the Wildcats. He rolls out to his right. Gronowski's going to take it up the middle. Does he have
Great
the
job. He got it. He
2-point conversion? He does. Gronowski makes this a 16-point game. Excuse me, that last touchdown, or excuse me, the score was not a 16-point game before. It is now.
And that was an interesting play because Gronowski rolled out. He was going to throw the fade like we called to Hoffman, but Hoffman got held at the line of scrimmage, no flag. Gronowski pump faked it, saw that he wasn't going to get free, kept it, and took it right up the middle. Well, now you have life. With 6:46 left, normally you would kick this ball off and play defense. But with the way this game has gone tonight and the way Homewood-Flossmoor's run the ball on us, I think Coach Ellinghouse and Coach Barry have to try an onside kick.
Yes.
Here, at least in my opinion. It's not that you don't trust your defense, but tonight it just doesn't look like they've been able to slow them down at all.
And you're right, they are going to move the kickoff back all the way.
And that may change the decision.
Yes.
That's a good point, Dom. Because of the 15-yard penalty, now the onside kick, if you don't get it, you're going to give it to them right at about the 35-yard line.
And that's not great.
No. Well, it looks like Palmer's lining up. Palmer Domschke is lining up to try the onside kick.
So we'll see what goes on here. Domschke faking it a little bit here, trying to see where the open
Last week
coverage is.
he kicked it to himself a couple weeks ago and was able to get it, but the middle looks like it's plugged this time. See if he bounces it hard into the turf, Dom, to get that high hop. No.
Oh, no, they faked it. He actually did kick off, but it's
bounds,
going to go out of bounds, so the flag is going to be thrown, and Domschke's really ticked off with himself.
Yeah, what they did was they got Homewood-Flossmoor to bring all of their people up towards the line of scrimmage, so he was going to try to kick it deep and let it bounce around and try to chase it, but he overkicked it and kicked it out of bounds.
It would have been a smart decision as well because nobody for Homewood-Flossmoor was in the backfield. If the Wildcats break free on that one, they have a very good chance of recovering that ball and possibly taking it in for a score.
Yeah. Well, right now the ball, I believe it gets placed at the 40. Why the referee's taking the time to do that, but it. Oh, they're putting it at midfield.
Yeah, they are. So this one's going to go right smack dab in the middle of the playing field.
And the reason it goes to midfield is because of where the kickoff started with that penalty. So, well, no matter what, we needed to stop at some point. We still need one here.
6:46. Defense really needing to work here, trying to get a stop to possibly give Neuqua another chance. 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line, right at midfield. A flag is thrown.
That's too many men, a legal substitution on the offense because they were already lined up in formation. You can't run a guy off when he's there. So that's going to be a legal substitution.
So this will, in fact, move HF back. Again, we're in Viking country. Score is currently 38-22 in favor of the Vikings. Dominic Liacani, Pete Catazone, Neuqua Media.
We've seen more flags here tonight than they have at the United Nations. I mean, there's been a ton of flags.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
You used a good one there. That one's pretty good.
It'll cost you a little money.
Yeah.
First down and 15. Snap, inside handoff up the middle, taken by Homewood-Flossmoor. Allen goes for a gain of about 3 yards. It'll be second down and 12.
Thanks for picking up my slack.
That's all right. You were looking at the computer. We're good.
Looking at the chat, again, everyone contributing to the chat. We appreciate it.
Us boomers were able to do two things at once. It's amazing.
That was a good one. I wasn't really paying attention. I'm still reading the chat, but that's all right. 6:20 and counting down here on the clock. 38-22 our score.
Let's see if Coach Ellinghaus uses a timeout here, if they could get a stop. And
second and 12 on their own 48, RHF.
Look at HF milking the clock.
Exactly. Wait until around 5 seconds left on that clock. This time,
nothing
Allen
there.
is absolutely – oh, he stayed on his feet. Oh, they're going to say he's down?
And once again, there's the referee on the sideline. He was walking in to mark him, but he never really blew the whistle.
Exactly.
None of the kids knew the play was dead.
This is, and like you were saying, yeah, this is a very just confused.
So here's what faces Neuqua now. This is a third down. It's going to be about 13 yards. If they get a stop, if I'm Coach Ellinghaus, I use one of my timeouts right away to save that extra 40 seconds before you get the ball back. It'll leave you with 2, but they've got to get the stop first.
So with 5:25 left in the game here.
Homewood-Flossmoor may have to take a timeout here because the play clock's already down to 5, and they're still not even lined up.
Jones was, in fact, able to get the snap off. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Allen.
No. Oh,
who's going to break free. Is this going to be
first down?
A first down? It is.
3rd and 13 and a run right up the middle with Allen for a first down. That can't happen. That's a backbreaker right there.
And it is. That would basically put the game away. That play right there sums up exactly how this game has been going for the Wildcats.
Yeah, right now that's just a straight run, but they were beat up front. Homewood-Flossmoor is a very, very well-coached team. They fundamentally are sound. Just watch what they're doing right now, Dom. They're letting the play clock get to 10 before they even get to the line of scrimmage, and I'll explain it after the snap why teams do that.
1st and 10 on the Wildcat 40 are the Vikings. A fake pass there from Jones and the run up the middle from Allen. Nothing doing there. Some extracurricular after the play.
Well, you're going to see frustration start to come out.
Yeah, Joey Matusik trying to pull Julius Earl away. Before you get into what you were going to say, I want to give a quick shout out. Peyton Domsky in the chat right now giving us some compliments, so we appreciate that and we thank you. Former Neuqua Valley alum and as well as former CP of Wildcat Weekly, so we appreciate
the number one weather woman in the state of Indiana.
Yes.
Glad she's listening. And Peyton, hope you're doing well.
But as you were going to, we'll wait till the next snap after to say what you were going to say. Just under 4 minutes remaining here in this one. 2nd and 7 for the Vikings on the Neuqua Valley 37. Out of the shotgun once again is Jones, and this time the handoff to Pauling. Nothing doing there. A loss of 3.
Timeout Neuqua, that they're going to use their first one to try and conserve a little bit of time. What I was trying to explain was, and you played football back in the day, it is very hard for offensive linemen to hold their position and not come up with a false start when they're on the line of scrimmage for a long time. So what you're seeing right now is with the lead, they want to run the clock. They are making their linemen and all of their wide receivers just stand about 3 yards behind the ball and talk almost like what they call a sugar huddle, a soft huddle. And then when there's about 10 seconds left on the play clock, that's when they quickly go to the line of scrimmage, get in their stances, and go. They don't want to take a chance at any 5-yard false start penalty to get them moving back behind the chains. Once again, Neuqua, 3rd down and long. All night long, this has been the bugaboo. They haven't been able to get a stop. That last one hurt because even if you get the stop now, there was another minute and a half, almost a minute and 40 seconds run off the clock that you can't afford to lose when you need 2 scores.
Peyton Domsky says aye in the chat.
Tell her hello. Peyton, good. Glad you're listening. Wish there was a better score to give you right now.
Well said. 38-22 our score here in favor of the Vikings. Just under 4 minutes remaining in this one. Neuqua's season dying right in
See if
front
the
of their
quarterback
eyes.
keeps the ball here, Dom.
Handoff up the middle to Allen. Pauling, who's going to bounce to the outside and then get pushed out of bounds by Joey Matusik at around the 25. So the clock will stop running here. It's still a 16-point game.
But another conversion on 3rd and 10 on a run. 12-yard gain on 3rd and 10. You could understand when you get beat on the pass, that in a normal game, but 3rd and 10 on a run, everybody knows it's coming, and they're still able to do it. They're just really well coached, really well coached.
Again, Dominic Liacani, Pete Catazone for Neuqua Media.
See how the players are just getting to the line of scrimmage now. They're still not in their stances. They're kind of waiting. We're at 10 seconds on the play clock.
1st and 10 for the Vikings on the Wildcat 28. This time Pauling taken down by both Reyna and Borski in the backfield for a round of loss of 3.
Yep. And we've gotten this position before. We thought one of the keys, we said it in the pregame, was getting them what they call behind the chains. Anything less than 3 yards on 1st down, which would force most teams to throw. But, of course, in this position, up 16 late, they're not going to throw even if it's 3rd and 20. They're going to just run the clock. The worst thing that happens for Homewood-Flossmoor is Neuqua has to use their last 2 timeouts to get the ball back. But the way they're running the ball right now, they're not getting stopped even on the 2nd and 3rd and longs.
In fact, Neuqua actually right now, the defense scrambling, man in motion for the Vikings. The handoff again to Allen, who's going to try to bounce to the outside, and this time he'll be taken down by both Emmanuel Rice with Julius Earl pushing right behind him. So it'll be 3rd and long.
Daniel Ballard, number 24, wide receiver, tight end, H-back for Homewood-Flossmoor. Wanted to give him a little mention because all night long he has been the player who has led the ball. If you're Neuqua Valley, you watch where he goes in motion and follow him, the ball's going to be right behind him. He's their lead blocker, and sometimes you have to read that key. He's been doing it all night. He's created a lot of holes for them tonight.
2:27 remaining here in this one, 38-22 in favor of the Vikings. 3rd and 15 on the Wildcat 33 are the Vikings. Man in motion. Jones out of under center this time. Another run up the middle for Allen. This time nothing doing there. And
Don't throw him down. Don't throw him down.
And for the first time in this one, the Wildcats are going to force the Vikings to get 4th and long here.
And the reason why I said don't throw him down was 3 players had him wrapped up. Now the whistle starts blowing. If you slam him to the ground, you get a 15-yard penalty after the play. And
exactly,
the game's essentially
and then
over.
they can basically
kneel
run up the middle and just kneel it.
What we have here, Dom, is even though that Homewood-Flossmoor, it's 4th down, I doubt they're going to punt. They're probably just going to go for it here. But even if they don't convert, they've managed to take off over 3.5 minutes off the clock in this drive, which is basically what they're playing against right now is that clock. It would be fun because Gronowski, we know what a kind of arm he has. It'd be fun to get that touchdown, even if it's with a minute or less left, to have an onside kick, to have a chance. Give the crowd a chance to cheer for something. But this is the play of the game right here. 4th down, and we're going to call, about 14 yards to go at the 32.
Wildcats, again, they have a very good shot here of getting the stop. If Gronowski, like you said, can air one out, they've got a great chance for Paul Murdomski to redeem himself for the onside kick and possibly get the Wildcats in position to tie the game if they could hit the 2-point conversion on both attempts.
Well, I know you're not a gambling man, Don, but I would probably bet every dollar in my pocket that Allen's going to get this ball. I might be wrong. Maybe the quarterback will keep it, but if I'm the defense.
2:12 remaining in this one. Still 38-22. 4th and 14. It's a fake.
It was a bad snap. Caused
and
him to fake it.
This
Don't hit him out
time,
of bounds.
Jones is just going to be chased out of bounds by the Wildcat defense, and Gronowski is rushing on the field with his boys to try and get the Wildcats downfield once again.
Well, you got 2:05 left. You need 16 points to have a chance. Got to get that first touchdown, though. The way the Wildcats move the ball, this is not dead yet. It's going to be, once again, perfection by Neuqua in order to pull it off. But it's not over. You want to be able to, obviously you have to score, but you would like to do it with at least 40 to 45 seconds minimum left so you have time to try to get the onside kick and move it down a second time.
2:05 remaining in this one, 38-22 our score. 1st and 10 on their own 38 are the Wildcats. Gronowski out of shotgun, 3 wide receivers to his left. Little screen pass out there to Larkin, and he'll get taken down for only a gain of around 1 at the 40.
The problem with the screen passes now is if they get tackled in bounds, there's going to be at least 10 to 15 seconds minimum before you get to the line and get a snap off.
So 1:50 remaining here. That hurry-up offense really in effect. Gronowski out of the shotgun once again. 2nd and 8 on their own 40. Gronowski has 3 wide receivers to his right. He puts Moreno in motion, set up as a tight end. Hoffman once again isolated.
Oh, he's got 81 down the middle.
He does. In fact, it's going to be number 18.
Great catch.
Greg Tereski will get the easy first down at around the 50-yard line, able to get a foot in bounds there.
Great catch by Tereski. That ball was floating a little bit on Gronowski. It was a little high. He kept both toes on the ground, got his feet up, I'm sorry, excuse me, got his hands up, kept his feet down, and fell out of bounds. If you get your feet up, that's an excellent athletic ability.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 1:30 remaining in this one. Again, 38-22 our score. 1st and 10 from their own 49. Gronowski out of the shotgun. Looking, scrambling, thrown to his right. Long pass out there. It is intercepted by number 4 for the Vikings, and he'll take it downfield. The first interception of the year.
That's going to be a 15-yard penalty on Neuqua for a late hit, too.
Number 4, Kearns. The first interception that Gronowski has thrown all year, and that's the dagger. That's going to do it.
And that's not an interception because he made a poor play. It's a desperation interception. When you have 1 minute and 17 seconds left and you have to score 16 points, you don't have the luxury of throwing a ball away or holding onto it and running. He's got to try to force that play. He threw it to his guy. He threw it to Hoffman, hoping that they could get a one-on-one, but the defensive back broke on the ball and made a beautiful play. And then they're going to tack 15 yards on here for Neuqua for a late hit. And this is where you want to see sportsmanship take over. There's going to be a lot of frustration on the Neuqua side, a lot of gloating on the Homewood-Flossmoor side. Hopefully they're just able to take a knee and get out of here without any issues with 1 minute and 17 left.
So the Vikings are going to come out with this one. Should be a final score of 38-22 with around 1 minute and 17 remaining.
You notice where the referee is. He's already standing right by the line. He's not even standing by the sideline because he doesn't. It's going to be a delay of game on the offense.
I think a timeout was called before that.
I think they're just going to take the delay of game. It doesn't really matter. They're going to kneel it out. But notice how the referees normally stand on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
He's standing right by the line of scrimmage because he does not want any contact and pushing and shoving after the snap. They're going to come in real quick and make sure they break that stuff up.
That's good. That's the one part we can compliment this officiating crew on tonight. Even though they've been confused, they want to make sure that, like you said, sportsmanship should take over in this situation, and Jones is going to knee it, and that clock's going to wind down.
And congratulations to Neuqua, too. They did a classy thing. They didn't go ahead and just jam the center. They're hugging and shaking hands. A great season for Neuqua Valley. They gave us a lot of fun Friday nights this year. One loss, and you lose to probably the number 1 ranked team in the entire state of Illinois by 2 points in East St. Louis Lincoln. And then tonight, it was just a combination of basically Homewood-Flossmoor had too much. They're fast, the speed, the way they run the ball, the blocking. And now we're having some words with some players and one of the coaches. So they're going to have to pull it.
Yeah, and they're getting Carl away from the referee, and a good job there by Belskis.
Yeah.
And, a lot of just talking going on from both sides. In fact, both teams are just going to line it up here. And Gronowski, class act here by Mark Gronowski, just making sure he goes out, not trying to start anything, and he's leading his team on to the field for the handshake line. So that's going to do it here. Carl Reyna is still very, very frustrated. He is still talking. Carl Reyna is still talking. He's still running his mouth.
Well, Carl's mad because it appeared to me that it was a coach that was talking back to him, and that should never happen. I like what the Homewood-Flossmoor coach is doing here. He's telling his kids to go shake hands, but he pulled them up and made them take a knee first.
Something's going on here.
Well, the Neuqua players thought that they weren't going to come and shake their hands. That's not what was happening. He was trying to tell his kids to do it with class and do not say anything. But now the Neuqua kids are walking away.
No, now they're not even going to shake hands with them. Neuqua Valley is not going to shake hands.
But that's not Neuqua's fault. Neuqua was in the line right waiting to shake their hand. Homewood-Flossmoor took a knee and decided to spend time talking to their players first. That's why Neuqua walked away.
And you know what? I'm going to say this right now. I'm liking to see this right now from Patrick Hoffman and Mark Gronowski, Nate Williamson. You can still see them shaking hands with a lot of their guys. Obviously, a lot of mutual respect. And you even see Griffin Harmer going over there and shaking hands. And
yeah, that was a miscommunication. That wasn't on purpose by either team. The Homewood-Flossmoor coach wanted to make sure he told his boys not to say anything and get in any kind of a skirmish. The Neuqua kids thought that they were just delaying, so they just started to walk away. Neither team did anything wrong in that situation.
So that's going to do it here from Homewood-Flossmoor. Your final score tonight from HF, the Vikings 38 and your Wildcats 22. That's going to do it here for the 2019 football season. Again,
it was a great game, Dom, and it was too bad for Neuqua Valley. They just couldn't get the stop for the defense going through the game. But I wanted to just say thank you to your media department teacher. And
Miss Trout, obviously. Miss Trout, Mr. Gelsomino, making sure that we get out here almost every night and following these guys. This has been a great season for the Neuqua Valley varsity Wildcats. It's a tough loss tonight, and obviously Homewood-Flossmoor is a great team, and they're going to I suspect that they could go pretty far in the playoffs.
Well, when you think about any high school sport and even college sports, right, however many teams start the season, there's 8 classes in Illinois. Only 8 teams win their last game of the year. Every other team goes home with a loss, and it's hard, and it's especially hard on seniors. A lot of the seniors you'll see on the sideline right now, they're grouped up. They're on a knee talking to their coach. You're going to see a lot of tears. Some of these young men are playing the game for the last time, and when you take that uniform off for the last time, it's very hard. It's something you've done your whole life, and it's hard to give it up. For those of the players that are going on to play in college, wish them well, wish them luck, and continued success over the course of their collegiate careers. And for the juniors and sophomores and freshmen that are coming back, there's still a good base of players, and hopefully they can rebound and have another nice season next year in 2020.
Absolutely. So that's going to do it here from the broadcasting booth, if you want to call it. We're out here on the landing of the press box. But Dominic Leacani, again, Mr. P-Cat, I just want to thank you so much for coming in and filling in for Jack Ashby, of course, again, and he just commented, good season. Thank you, everyone, for your support. And we'll try to broadcast the upcoming basketball. Absolutely, Jack. You couldn't have said it any better there.
Get well, Jack. Hope you're feeling better.
Absolutely. We hope you're feeling better right now, Jack. That's going to do it, though, here from, again, HF. Again, your final 38-22 in favor of the Vikings. Again, Dominic Leacani, joined by special guest Pete Catazone. So excited that you were able to join us today. It's been a pleasure learning from you and getting experience. I want to thank the media department. I want to thank Mr. G, Ms. Trout. It's been a great year for Neuqua Valley football. Unfortunately, this isn't the result that anyone wanted, especially getting out of the playoffs this early. A lot of confidence from this team, and obviously they're going to come back strong next year, especially with a lot of the returning juniors and obviously the sophomores. But, once again, we want to thank everyone for tuning in and listening. Pete, you got any final words?
Just want to say thanks for having me, and you do a great job. You and Jack have done a really good job all year long. I'm proud of the way you've developed as a play-by-play man. It's not easy. You did a great job all baseball season at the end with the tournament, but baseball obviously is a different game. It's a little bit slower pace. You get time to tell more stories. Football, and now wait, when you do basketball, it's even faster than this.
Yep.
So, but you guys do a wonderful, wonderful job.
Hopefully we'll have some camera crew for that. Hopefully we'll get the TriCaster out, and we'll definitely get the video going. But that's going to do it here from Homewood-Flossmoor. We want to thank everyone for listening. Great season, and congratulations to the Neuqua Valley varsity Wildcats on a terrific run. Unfortunately, not the outcome we wanted, but that's going to do it. We appreciate everyone listening. Hopefully everyone has a great night. Enjoy your Sunday tomorrow. And me and P. Catazone are out. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone.